This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Welcome to the 365 Flicks podcast. Yes, we are still a thing. No, we are not dead. We're back.
Yeah.
For well, it was going to be a Christmas episode, but that completely went to shit. And so we are going to be doing our 2019 roundup.
Yeah.
Welcome back,
It
Kev.
kind of is a Christmassy episode because it is technically going to be Christmas in two minutes.
It is.
And we can have a bit of Christmassy crack.
Did you do your Christmas top 5?
I did do my Christmas top 5. Well, but we did a little bit different.
Oh yeah, you half-assed the fuck out of it, didn't you? So
yeah, but you did like scenes in movies that make you feel Christmassy, and I was just like, I can't really be arsed with that pish. I'll do movies that I only really tend to watch at Christmas. That was going to be my top 5, and I got like,
we've done that before.
we probably have. It just felt like an easy one.
Half-assed bastard. Anyway, I am Chris, the Scottish Reading Horror.
And I am Kevin, the pissy ex video store clerk.
And this is the 365 Flicks podcast.
Yes,
bitches.
and like you say, we are still a thing. Yeah.
Of course we are.
We come and we go like thieves in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with that.
But next year we're going to be bossing this shit. We're going to be back on track. It's been a weird last 5 or 6 months.
It has been, but you know what? I spent over $1,000 doing this fucking studio up. So yeah, we are still going.
Yeah.
Cobweb over there, Kev. That's going to be upsetting for you, buddy.
That is going to be upsetting for me. If anything comes out of there, I like
Bastard Shelob over there.
Ooh, what's that? Is that a reference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right.
Bygones.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. Right. Less of that.
Sorry.
But yeah, I did have some Christmassy movies that I was going to put on my list, but I suppose let's just have a little. What did you have on your list? Because when you said scenes in movies that make you feel Christmassy, I was like, you want me to pick a scene?
Yeah, like a scene in a movie. It doesn't have to necessarily be a Christmas movie,
Right.
but a scene in a movie that you maybe watch at Christmas, and this particular scene makes you go, bless.
The turning, the pulling of the levers in Schindler's List, that makes me feel really Christmassy. No?
Jesus.
It doesn't do it for you?
No.
Maybe I'm just weird. What did you have? Go on.
Fucking hell.
What's your Christmassy scenes?
Okay, so, right, I had Santa Claus the movie.
Yeah.
You've seen this?
It's a film. Yeah.
The bit at the end, at like sort of the climax of the movie where he has to do
Climax.
He has to do the super duper lipper.
Right.
At the end, he has to make the sleigh go upside down and that.
Is this the Tim Allen one?
Don't be so fucking shit.
No.
Scrooged. Bill Murray's monologue at the end of Scrooged about Christmas being all cool and stuff.
It is pretty dope.
Yeah. I wish you would stop saying dope. The Christmas Vacation opening song.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A Christmas Carol 1985. You know, I'm a fan of this.
Yeah.
With George C. Scott. The opening titles of it, it's all Victorian and snowy and Christmassy and shit. And Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
The Ghost of Christmas Presents song.
Is that the one with Michael Caine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Caine.
It's the fella. Yeah, the Ghost of Christmas Presents song. I'm not going to sing it.
Why not?
Cause
Please do.
No.
It will make my day.
I know. Those were my picks.
See, I'm not really massively into Christmas
I know
movies
you're
and
not.
stuff like that.
I know you're not.
That's why
it's
when
Christmas,
you're like,
whether you like it or not.
yeah, it does come round every now and then, once a year. But I mean, as far as I was going to go, is like movies that I only really tend to watch at Christmas. So you have like, and we were talking about this at work the other day, and I got reminded of an absolute belter that I do tend to watch. Probably not for a couple of years now, but I'm gonna introduce the kids to it this year. Hopefully.
Die Hard.
No, not Die Hard. The old favourite Land Before Time. You know, the dinosaurs, the animated thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to get the girls to watch that this year. That film is the shit. I love that movie.
You know what? I've got a real fancying to watch, and you're proper gonna roll your eyes at me here.
Probably not.
It is the BBC's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Nothing wrong with that. The old school one
from the 80s.
Fucking amazing.
I got the DVD
By the way,
a couple of years ago.
Amazing.
Oh
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Who plays the White Witch is just the greatest actress of our generation.
Okay, I'll maybe not give you that. But we have a bit of a jam-packed show coming up. We've got a news section as usual. We are going to do a Rise of the Skywalker review because we went to see Star Wars last night. How's your feelings on this right now? Have you processed? Have you thought about it?
I've thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say that my feelings are slightly skewed from last night. Having a little think about it. Not too much, because I was mostly positive coming out of it.
I'm feeling mostly positive about it.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, as we said in the car. It's not perfect, but, you know, let's face it, right? Let's face it. There is only one perfect Star Wars movie.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. And if you really, really, really think about it and be honest with yourself, the Star Wars franchise is mostly just, it's alright.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Yeah. Like,
you know, okay, so, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
See, I'm the other way around there, like.
Right, Revenge of the Sith. It's okay. A New Hope.
It's decent.
It's okay.
No, A New Hope. A New Hope isn't perfect. It's not as perfect as Empire, but it's still up there.
I put Return of the Jedi above New Hope every single day.
I don't put Return of the Jedi anywhere. Ewoks, man.
Not
Ewoks,
anywhere.
fucking Care Bears.
Bless them. But, you know, so you got Empire, and then, so Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
Force Awakens is alright, I suppose, in its way.
Well, if you're not going to really rate A New Hope, you can't really rate Force Awakens because it's the same film.
Don't fucking start that. Don't start that copy and paste shite with me. Last Jedi, we're not even fucking do that.
Yeah.
So if you really, really, really think about it,
Yeah.
it is mostly just
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
just because it's okay. So George Lucas created this rich as fuck universe. Most of them, if we are honest, is just
Yeah. We still love them though.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that. But, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like that. We will also be doing our traditional "What have you been watching?" section, which is probably going to be about 6 hours long. Given that we've not done it.
Me, I've got all the way back to bloody.
I'll be honest. I went through
Dark Fate, and I can't remember anything I was going to say about it.
I went through and I had a list of maybe 15 things, and I was like, okay, drop that. I ain't going through all this shit.
No, there's going to be a couple of. It was her story, so it was good.
But we'll be doing our "What have you been watching?" and then we'll probably round out the show with our top 5 of the year, which, funnily enough, when I looked back at the films that have came out this year, there's not that many great films that came out this year. Yeah,
I found it fairly easy to do. I think I've got
9. I have got 9.
I've got 9.
I've got 9, so I am going to have to whittle them down. But I'm sort of like, at one point I was struggling to get 5, and I was like, oh no, that came out this year. Oh, nice.
I've got 6 at them. Well, 7 because I've hobbied the shit out of one of them.
That's cool.
I've got it'll be fine.
But we'll get to that. First of all, you've not done this.
Oh, this is going to be
You've not done this for
This is
about
going to be
2
a
months.
piping hot mess. So we want everybody, hopefully, to look for 365 Flicks podcast on the Facebooks and the Twitters. We promise you, we are still a thing. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe or whatever the fuck. Look for us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and any other pod-catching app what you is can find. We are on a few networks. We are on the Wicked Radio Network. We are on the Tangibout Network. We are on We Be Geeks, the awesome nerdly.co.uk. Hashtag BritPodScene. Hashtag Podern Family.
Yeah.
That was alright. That was actually alright. We need another fucking 2-month break now.
That was pretty good, I'll give you that. I'm quite surprised at how well that went.
Can you just,
I might
paste that into the next
I might, but then I'll probably forget, because it'll be about another 2 months before we do this. But yeah, so we are going to get into our news section round about meow, and get into our Christmas / 2019 roundup.
We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled podcast in just a minute. But we wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake on this highly produced advertisement.
That's right. It's the History of Bad Ideas, a.k.a. Hobie. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast and on Facebook at the History of Bad Ideas. But if you like a podcast roundtable with 3 to 5 guests, usually every week, depending on sick leave, talking about all things geek, including movies, TV.
I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Blake bitching about something and ranting, and comic books and anything else that we can think of. We have a top 5 list every week, along with a box office news, and somehow we have listeners, so they send us some feedback we answer every week. You can find us on iTunes,
Stitcher,
Facebook,
Spotify,
and any good podcast app, because if you can't find us on that podcast app, it's not a good podcast app.
Damn straight. Roger says goodbye.
First thing I want to bring up is, because I find this hilarious. So, you know the movie Cats?
Yeah.
And I'm
aware of it.
You know the trailer looked ass.
Uh-huh.
And some people tried to defend the trailer. I don't really know why, because it looked ass. That movie came out, and then about 24 hours after it came out, the director and the studio have now asked the cinemas that are showing the movie to replace the version of the movie that they have with the new version that they are sending out.
Oh.
Same film. It's the same film.
More dogs in it.
It's no longer. It's no different. But they have finished the visual effects to a movie that was actually released.
Oh shit!
This is, I think, apart from George Lucas or Ridley Scott or whatever playing around with their different versions over the years of movies, this is unprecedented. I don't think this has ever happened.
Is this like a sign of things to come? Like the movie industry is going to become like the fucking gaming industry, where there's a day one patch that goes into cinemas.
That would be quite good.
You think so?
Well, let's be honest. That movie.
We can get George Lucas going. More droids, send them out.
That trailer did look fucking awful, and the movie's come out and it's been getting panned. I think it currently sits at 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It will be because like you say, it looks fucking horrendous.
It does.
I can't think of a single person who would want to watch that.
Well, it turns out that
maybe Barnes Bob.
Burton's Bob will love that movie, but it turns out that even the director wasn't happy with the finished product. So about a day after it's been in the theaters, it's getting a as you say, a patch. I think it's hilarious. Like, this is one of those times where I'm genuinely happy to see a movie do bad. Like, because I thought that movie was just going to suck balls. And look at that cast. Look at the cast they have.
You have to think, like, they all must be like for one agent, and that agent owes someone a favour.
Oh yeah,
has to be.
I genuinely think that they all did the scenes separately, and nobody knew what the movie was about, who was in it, and then Taylor Swift did about 6 big numbers. But like, honestly, man, the fact that you are replacing your movie 24 hours with an updated version of your movie, what the fuck, man?
Or maybe it was like a Tyler Durden thing where he put a dozen cocks in it.
Possibly.
That would be good.
I'd watch that. But yeah, so Cats is doing terrible. In other news, I spoke about it on our little Hobie section. By the way, go and listen to the History of Bad Ideas. They're doing a Floppy Awards episode soon, and we will be hosting presenting depending on whether I get it over to them in time. But in there, I quickly mentioned the fact that a good friend of our show, he's been a guest on the show a few times, listens to the show, he loves what we do. Mr. Tom Payton has rapped on his new movie 400 Bullets.
Yeah.
starring Jean-Paul Lee, who we've raved about countless times. Night Shooters, we fucking love that movie. Jailbreak, that's on Netflix. Check that out if you've got a chance.
Yeah, I added that to my list ages ago, and I've never got around to watching it yet.
It's basically the raid in a prison.
Yeah,
It's great.
With that.
It is great. He's in there, and Andrew Lee Potts is in there, but this is the 6th movie in like 5 years for Tom and George. So, you know, they're going gangbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're still churning them out, I guess. But the great thing is, like, everything you see, they're just getting better and better and better. It's mental. I've been keeping an eye on the Instagram. I've been keeping an eye on the Facebook when they've been posting about 400 bullets. And again, it just looks like they've...
I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do with a punchy kicky film.
Well,
because he likes his Buffy.
He does.
We saw some punchy kickiness in Black Site.
We did.
And yeah, this is going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be hella good. Like, he's I feel like he's really onto something, and he has said that this is like the most action he's ever done. So hopefully there's just no lines in it. Hopefully they just go through rooms just kicking shit out of people.
I'd be okay with that.
A sad one for me. You're not going to care, but I keep updating people on this. Akira has been put back on the shelf. It looks like it's probably going to be indefinitely.
What's that?
Akira's the manga movie from back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, all right.
It's been on the go.
Is that the one that Peter Jackson was doing?
No,
making that up.
No. So, like, this has been on the go for a long, long time. It was going to be Taika. It was Taika Waititi that I was picking up. And after seeing Thor Ragnarok, even though I'm not a massive fan of Thor Ragnarok, that is the visual aesthetic. That's exactly what Akira should be, is what he did with Thor. So, I was excited to see what Taika did, but it looks like Taika's... I don't know if he stepped away or if the studios turned around and put it back on the shelf, but it looks like that's it for a little while. I know you're not bothered, but
I couldn't be less interested. I have seen a thing that you were very excited either earlier on this year or last year or whatever, I can't remember, about that, the Shenmue game.
Yeah.
Apparently it's utter shite.
See, that's just haters hating.
No, it came out and apparently it is fucking horrendous.
I'll never know because it's only on PS4 and I'm fucking raging about it. And Lindsay even...
Didn't you donate to that and you were getting a free copy?
I donated to it, but it turns out I won't be getting a free copy because I don't have a PS4.
You can still get a free copy.
What am I going to do with it?
I don't know, sell it.
Use it as a cursor. I'm not going to do anything with it. But
if you get your free copy, you can play it on mine.
No.
Oh, fine, be like that.
So yeah, Akira's back on the shelf. Christ knows how long for now. It's getting slightly upsetting because I'm dying to see what they do with this. But Power Rangers, the reboot is still on the go. They are rebooting it. They're not carrying it on from the 2017 version. As far as I'm aware, there's not a lot known about it. It's just a case of they are having another go. There's going to be some time travel-y bollocks in there. Apparently the basic premise right now is that they're going to end up back in the 1990s and they're going to be trying to get back to the present day.
Just carry it on from the...
Carry it on? That movie was great. There was nothing wrong with that movie.
Like, I was never ever into Power Rangers and I liked it.
Exactly.
So, you know.
And if you liked it, and you're proper like, yeah.
What? I'm a proper what?
Fussy prick. Shazam 2. Confirmed. Obviously, we know that DC's got quite an interesting slate coming up. One of the things that piqued my interest, though, is that Shazam 2 is confirmed for a release date of April the 1st, 2022, so a couple of years away. But Black Adam, the Dwayne Johnson movie, which is like the Shazam villain, that's coming out before Shazam 2. Which I found quite interesting. Like I thought they would maybe just like introduce him in. It's a weird that they're giving a villain his own movie. Like I
just watched the Joker movie, Kev.
Yeah, I get that, but this is like a villain that nobody's seen on like the big screen.
Yeah, it's the Rock people are going to go and see it.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to be there fucking early doors. But yeah, that comes out.
I've read. I mean, I don't know Shazam at all. But Black Adam is more popular than Shazam in the comics.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently that, yeah. Conjuring 3.
Yeah, it got its name, but I can't remember what it was.
The name is The Devil Made Me Do It. And we have a couple of changes for this. It's not going to be a movie about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Is it Ed? Ed Warren?
Yeah.
It's not. It's going to be one of the cases that they did, but it's not specifically about them.
Okay.
They're trying a different angle where it's more about the baddie of the movie, because it's also not going to be like a haunted house style movie. It's the story of a serial killer.
Ooh.
From back in the day, and it's like one of the first ever cases where a serial killer claimed that he was possessed when he committed the crime.
100%.
I'm definitely 100% in. I think it sounds great. But the guy that's directing it, obviously James Wan with Aquaman and all that, he's kind of stepped away, but he's still producing. He's still like executive producer. He's still producing and everything. So we have a new director to this one, which is Michael Chaves. Probably said that completely wrong, but he's also the guy who did The Curse of La Llorona earlier this year, which was a Conjuring spin-off, which I really enjoyed. And that movie is also about like people being possessed and doing badass things. I'm interested. Like,
I like that they're trying to do something different with it.
I think you have to. Like, The Conjuring.
Third movie.
How many times have we said on this podcast that The Conjuring 2 is like the perfect fucking horror movie? Like, not just perfect horror movie. It is a perfect movie. It's awesome. A bit sad to see that I'm not going to be focusing too much on the Warrens.
Well, they'll still be in it, and it's only fair because really the true story of the Enfield haunting was the Warrens weren't there as much as the Conjuring 2 would have you believe.
That Timothy Spall, he did a TV show, didn't he? The Enfield haunting, and they were nothing.
They were there, but
they
were not there as much as the movie would tell you that. But then that wouldn't be much of a movie.
No.
They just show up and go, meh, and then
meh, work's done.
End credits.
Well done, Timothy. The Batman. The movie that has just, so who do we know? We Zoe Kravitz is going to be in there. We know Colin Farrell's going to be in there. Paul Dano's going to be in there. Obviously Pattinson's playing the baddie. We now have our Harvey Dent. It looks like, Peter Sarsgaard, who not one of the Skarsgårds. Sarsgaard. He was in what was he in? I'm trying to think of a movie that he's been in. Fucking tons of things. He's been in loads of stuff. Look him up. He's been in loads of things. I think he was like the baddie in the Green Lantern. You know, the original Green Lantern movie.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, he was in that. He's a really good actor, but he is going to be in the movie. But so far, it's only a rumored character. But everybody is thinking that he's going to be Harvey Dent.
I'm okay with that.
So we're all thinking he's District Attorney Harvey Dent.
Do we need to see Harvey Dent again?
Well, my feeling on the whole Batman movie now is that they're probably going to be doing like. Did you ever read The Long Halloween?
I did. That is going to be coming up on my What You've Been Watching.
I feel
I read it.
You read it. It's good.
It's not.
It's
fucking shit.
It's good.
It's a lot of shite.
I kind of feel like that's the sort of story they're going to be going for. So instead of it being like a hero-driven movie, it's going to be like Batman trying to survive a period of time in Gotham, where
That's
all the villains.
I'm all right with that, but the long Halloween was crap.
It's all right.
Nope.
It's all right.
Nope.
It's all right. Other superhero movie news: Venom 2. Have you seen who has joined the cast?
No.
I just about spunked in my pants. Cream of the crop, best of British, on fire right now, just been in a movie with Al Pacino and fucking Robert De Niro. Mr. Stephen Graham has joined the cast of Venom 2.
Nice.
Stephen Graham and Tom Hardy, man. This is
Fuck yeah.
This is going to be
we need
great.
Tom Holland in there, goddammit, as Spidey.
That would be pretty cool as well. That would
fucking right, it would.
Imagine him and Tom Holland having a crack. Alright there, Tom Holland. Hey, Stephen Graham, mate. He doesn't really do the Liverpool accent though.
And he doesn't do that with his hands either.
He might do.
Only I can see.
But we both love Stephen Graham. Any project he's involved in, we're happy to see it.
By the way, completely held his own with Al Pacino. And
Yeah, I've not watched it.
oh, balls, Kev.
I've not watched it. Is he good? Is he,
Fucking right, yes. Oh, yeah.
he's the main reason I am going to watch it, because a 3.5-hour movie with those old dudes doesn't really do it for me.
We'll get there.
But it is De Niro and Pacino.
Yep. Pesci. Don't forget Pesci.
And Pesci. So,
Stephen Graham.
Disney.
Disney do what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Disney have decided that even though we had a near perfect trilogy of Planet of the Apes movies,
Oh, yeah, right there.
they are looking to redo the whole Planet of the Apes thing. I don't know if they're like starting again or if it's going to be a fourth movie in the trilogy, like to carry it on. I just don't want them to do it.
It's too soon. It only ended a couple of years ago.
Exactly. And let's be honest, it was pretty badass.
Honestly, I can't remember a great deal about the third movie.
It was just really long and Caesar just dying, really. It was kind of like the Skyfall of Planet of the Apes. It was just Caesar, like, just telling us from the very start he was going to die.
Home Alone stuff at the end.
yeah. But yeah, Disney have decided, because they obviously have Fox now and everything, so that's part of the package, and they've decided that they're going to redo Planet of the Apes or another film to go in with it. Not one I'm really all that bothered about.
I suppose, like, the whole thing was it was supposed to lead up to sort of the Charlton Heston movies, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we thought it was doing.
But then it didn't.
Not really, no.
So you could, in theory, you could. Don't reboot it. Don't pretend that the work that oh fuck,
Matt Reeves.
yes, didn't exist.
Yeah.
And don't undermine bloody oh fuck.
Right.
I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, continue it and have it lead up. Have it lead up to or redo what the Charlton Heston movies was doing.
Yeah,
Don't
we always
pretend
thought that was the case.
The Matt Reeves films and the work that Andy Serkis didn't happen because that was fucking groundbreaking shit.
It was.
And you can't. It's a really shitty thing to do. To just go, oh well, we're just going to disregard all that and pretend it didn't happen.
Even if anything, like Andy Serkis is now doing the Venom 2 movie, isn't he? So if you really, really want to do it, get the man who's most involved in it.
Yeah.
Bring Andy Serkis back on to direct or produce or whatever. Just give it to him. But yeah, it's a Disney thing.
I would be okay if they went right. Okay, so we're gonna, even if they do we're gonna do like a 10-year time jump or something like that in it, and now it is the apes are all in charge.
Yeah.
The humans are all buggered.
Sort of like Caesar's people.
Aye.
Sort of making settlements, kind of thing.
And then get Marky Mark back.
Or have it lead into Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Or Tim Burton's Batman.
Or Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah. It's okay with that.
So, you watched Penny Dreadful, right?
I did.
It's coming back.
I saw that, yeah. With Natalie Dormer.
I didn't watch Penny Dreadful. I saw a couple of little episodes here and there. But that sounds to me like the perfect casting ever. Natalie Dormer doing that. Because I love a bit of Natalie Dormer. And she suits that sort of Victorian...
And she needs a win.
She does need a win, yeah.
Because she's done a couple of projects after Game of Thrones and not so much.
Yeah. It's a shame, because she is class.
Yeah.
I do like a bit of Natalie.
I'm looking forward to this. I think it's 2020 it's coming. Well, obviously it's not going to be 2019, is it? But, so it's in I want to say Chicago.
Yeah, they're swapping it. They're swapping it to Chicago. It's
and it's 1930s or something.
Yeah, kind of different time period as well. So let's see what we get from that.
So it's not like she's not going to be playing Penny Dreadful.
No,
it's another character within the
within the universe.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that's what you do when you run out of ideas.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have
in there as well.
I don't really have anything else. I've realised that my last thing is actually something I'm going to be talking about in my What Have You Been Watching, so I'm just going to leave that till later.
That's fine. I've only got a couple of things then. The first one, Picard, has got on a season 2 already.
Yeah. A lot of series right now are getting second seasons before even airing, because Picard's not even out there yet, and it's getting it.
January, innit?
The Witcher started Friday, and it's already got a second season.
Yeah.
Which is good, because so often that a great TV show comes out and just gets fucking shit canned before it even gets a chance.
Although it would have to be mind-blowingly bad if they cancelled The Witcher after one season.
Yeah.
You've got Henry Cavill in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, the fans were always gonna like. I did actually say at work to one of the other lads who plays The Witcher, loves The Witcher, like read some of the books and stuff and all that go alongside it, and I was saying to him, I says, you know what though, like this could make or break Henry Cavill, because if it's wrong and it's not what the fans are expecting, he might not work again.
Well, that's certainly not going to happen, because
no, I've heard.
Is absolutely fucking dead on.
Yeah.
With Geralt. Absolutely perfect.
Good. I started playing The Witcher 3 a couple of weeks ago. Finding it hard to get into, but it really pissed me off when somebody told me, because I was like, oh yeah, I've been playing it for like 2 or 3 hours and I feel like I'm really starting to get into the game, and they're like, yeah, that's still like the training. They were like, you're not even past, you're not past the training section of the game yet.
Yeah, it's a good thing though, because it means you're going to be there for months and months and okay, I've lost you.
Yeah, you've lost me. I think I'll just start playing Minecraft again.
You've got a fucking state-of-the-art bloody console there, and you're playing Minecraft.
Yes.
Pish.
I caught Ruby playing Fortnite. I'm not happy about
You
that.
better not do that. What do they call it? With the arms.
The dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the dab.
The dab. No, not the dab.
Not the dab.
The one where they do the thingy.
Or the Orange Justice.
No, they do the army thingy, dancey thing.
I have no idea what that is.
The arms go back and forward and back and forward.
You have lost me. Oh, the floss.
Aye, the floss.
Aye.
Right, bygones.
I can't do the floss. I keep trying. I can't do it.
I know.
It's awful.
Don't try it.
But yeah, she started playing Fortnite, which I'm really not happy about. But I have to be a cool dad and say, oh yay,
look at you.
You're so awesome at Fortnite. And I was like sitting watching her the other day, and somebody was shooting at her from behind, and she wasn't understanding where the bullets were coming from. I'm like, Ruby, turn around, and she turned around, she got nailed in the face. I was like, you're shit at this game.
Did you take the controller off her and do it for her then?
I took the controller off her and put Minecraft on and showed her how to build a house. I goes like a Minecraft Steve, which is the thing, I guess. But
what? Right, so what the hell was that?
It's a character from Minecraft Steve.
Jesus Christ. Last bit of news. This one is weird as hell.
Oh.
Warner Brothers,
love it,
are creating a live action version of Wile E. Coyote called Coyote versus Acme.
Okay. And how's that going to work?
I don't know. I really don't know.
That, you know what?
Live action road rap? Well, not live action. It's like live action as in Lion King live action.
Like Sonic.
But, fuck Sonic. I'm actually intrigued by that because I loved Roadrunner.
I won't lie, I'm pretty intrigued.
And you just know that you're going to get some moron from a fucking animal rights group saying this is terrible. You shouldn't be doing this to these animals. God, it's going to happen. As long as they have it going meep meep. Because I love it. I love it. Right, prediction: they're going to try and get it banned because it's going to encourage children to hurt coyotes. Prediction.
Mm-hmm. Or encourage animals to buy dynamite. No. That could be a thing.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me.
A dog could walk into a shop and try and buy some dynamite.
I think they've got that at Pest Direct. What?
Right, so we're going to move on. I don't want to do Rise of the Skywalker just yet, so we're going to do what have you been watching just now and get through that, and then we'll be back in a minute for that section.
Cool.
Hey, it's Brian.
And it's Tony.
From the Salty Language Podcast. We're a podcast with two friends that have, been around each other for like 70 years or something, and we talk about kind of everything.
We're like a married couple that you hate.
Yeah, basically something like that. No, we talk about, just weird news, stuff that happens in our life, pop culture, really anything. It's, we just have a nice conversation and make up stuff along the way. So, yeah. And I guess, you can find us at saltylanguage.com.
For sure. And beer you'll be fine.
Well, also, you can find us on dangerentertainment.net.
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.net, in case you missed it the first time.
So, what have you been watching, Chris, in a 3-month hiatus?
Yeah, no. I'm going to try and remember what I was going to say about this, but I went to see Terminator Dark Fate.
As you did.
I did.
And?
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I know that, just the internet being the internet about it.
Yeah. The internet hates everything, man.
Yeah. Sarah Connor is awesome in it, as you would expect.
She looks good in the trailers.
Total fucking badass. So it's been out for a little while now, so I think it's okay to do spoilers.
Yeah.
So, in pretty much the opening scene, John Connor is killed.
Oh yeah, I read about that. Yeah. De-aged John Connor.
Eddie Furlong's John Connor is killed. So they go on a holiday or a vacation after the events of T2.
Yeah.
And then they're on a beach in wherever the fuck, and another version of Arnie comes and.
Also, it's Arnie that does it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I know. Comes and blows John Connor away.
Cool.
And he gets all killed in that.
Does he do it with the rose box? Like he drops the roses and then brings out the shotgun?
Don't remember. I don't think it's a rose box. He's carrying it in something.
Can we just say how epic that would be, though?
I don't remember what it was. But yeah, so that's already, it's kind of like, that happened, that was a thing. And then so we sort of, we flash or fast forward in time in that to, the woman who is going to be the next, say that a different version of Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
And so the Terminators are coming after her. She's in Mexico or New Mexico or one of. I think it's in Mexico because they have to go across the border at some point.
It's always Mexico.
And so the Terminators start coming after her. There is a part human, part Terminator. A human that's been enhanced with.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
And she's actually really good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Jack Bauer type situation where, so she can use her powers, but then they deplete afterwards, and she's got to recharge them.
Yeah.
Becomes a thing when it needs to become a thing in the plot.
Yeah.
Which, what are you gonna do? But she was good. The lass who's playing the new Sarah Connor is really, really good. Linda Hamilton is of course fucking excellent.
Yeah.
But then there's a sort of a twist in the story where she is not, in fact, the next Sarah Connor. She is actually John Connor. She is the one who's going to be leading the resistance.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. There's a few moments in it where it looked a little bit ropey. The CGI looked a little bit ropey. But there are also moments in it. There's a big bit on a big set piece on a plane towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's fucking superb.
You get a glimpse of that in the trailer. Yeah.
It is so good. And that's what you want in a Terminator movie. You want some big badass action moments and sort of over the top action and that. And I think it did a good job. I really do. I think they needed to do something with the franchise. Personally, I think the franchise is too toxic now. I don't think that even if they brought out the best Terminator film ever, I think that it's become too fucking toxic and that people would just hate it. And then I read things afterwards that they were pushing the female agenda and all that. I fucking hate all that. Yeah, I hate all that, man. It's such crap.
But they love bringing that up.
We've been watching fucking Sarah Connor kick ass since fucking the 1980s.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. We've been watching fucking Ellen Ripley kick ass since the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
They're always going to do it. They're always going to talk about it. They're always going to say that the female agenda is being pushed, and it is bollocks.
But it's like it's nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. It's not as if they were, they were all like, get that man or anything. And it's not that. It's not that. It just happens that, to me anyway, maybe I'm being naive about it, I don't fucking know, I don't care, but Sarah Connor is back, happy goddamn days.
Yeah.
They were doing the bloody twist in the story where, okay, so we thought this woman was the next Sarah Connor, but she actually turns out to be the next John Connor, and she's leading the resistance. So she needed to be a woman, you dumb fucks.
It's like one of those, you can't win. You really can't.
No,
you can't win at all, because if you make it a cast full of men, then you're a sexist.
Yep. Imagine they try to do Glengarry now.
It would have to be Melissa McCarthy, Sandra Bullock.
Would it be Jenny
Ross. Jenny Jennifer, Jenny Ross. No, you still got Ross in there, haven't you? Fuck, you can't win.
Rachel, there you go.
You can't win. You can't win.
Glenn Rachel. Honestly, I thought it was great. I had a great time watching it. I thought it was kind of, was it as good as T2 and the first Terminator? No, it wasn't. Was it a perfect Terminator movie? No, it wasn't. I would put it there next to Rise of the Machines, though, and I think that Rise of the Machines is a massively underrated movie.
Oh, it is.
And it's better than fucking Genesis. It's better than that Christian Bale one, whatever the hell that was called. So, yeah. Just chill up the internet.
The internet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with a movie that I really enjoyed the last half an hour of. The first hour is slow as balls. It was everything I hoped it would be for the last half an hour. It's a shame. I watched Rambo: Last Blood.
Oh.
I'm a Rambo fan. I'm a Rocky fan. I'm a Stallone fan. I'll watch anything Stallone does. Expendables, all that nonsense. It is all nonsense. I sat down to watch Rambo: Last Blood. Pretty excited to be getting a new one. Pretty excited to be seeing Stallone do his thing again. It's literally, the first hour is taken with way less action, and then the last half an hour is Rambo. It is fucking the last half an hour is fantastic. So it's like now he's sort of living on a ranch with this woman. I think it's like his sister or some shit like that. She has a daughter that he feels very overprotective of. Her dad is like gone somewhere. She finds out where the dad is. She goes to see the dad. He's a piece of shit. It happens to be in Mexico. She then sort of like gets mixed up with the wrong person in Mexico, and Rambo has to go in and save her. Gets his ass fucking handed to him the first time. Goes back after he's healed up a little bit. Gets her, and then gets the fuck out of Dodge. But this being a Rambo movie, once he's got the fuck out of Dodge, he then needs to get them to follow him so he can kill them all.
Okay.
Which I was kind of like sitting there thinking, dude, you got out, you got away, you escaped with your life. You don't need to be going back and antagonising the shits, which is exactly what he does. But it leads to half an hour of just glorious fucking Rambo, gore, action, death, and I love the last half an hour. Just the first hour and a bit is like, what the fuck, man? Just let's get to the action. If you're a big fan of Rambo movies, like in the way that I am, I'd maybe give it a miss. It's not gonna. You're not missing anything if you miss this one out. If you're mildly curious, just skip to it's like an hour and 30 mark, and then it's gangbusters from there. It's it's not great. It's not great. The last one was much better, which I think was just called John Rambo. That one was fantastic when he was in Burma. That was great. Loved that. This one, it just suffers from Stallone needs something to do, so he's going to make a Rambo movie. You know, apparently he's making another Rocky as well, which I don't think I need another Rocky movie.
Like, not Creed, Rocky.
I think there is another Creed, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about making another actual Rocky movie. I don't think I need that. Maybe just make another Creed. I'd be happy with that.
But yeah, he's got all cancer and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I think it's basically a swan song for him. I just don't think we need it. It's just, he's doing well enough being the supporting lead in Creed. Like, he's a supporting actor in there.
I like the two Creed movies.
I love the way that he is now Mickey, and it leads to the point of, like, as with Mickey, they can have Stallone die in a Creed movie and it'll hold a lot of weight. We don't need him to go and do a Rocky movie where he may die. I don't need that shit.
Oh, he's wanting an Oscar.
Probably.
That's what it is. And he doesn't want any that's best supporting actor, best actor.
He nearly got one, didn't he?
Did he?
He nearly for Creed 1 he nearly got an Oscar.
Did he really?
Or was it Creed 2? No, it was Creed 1.
Wasn't he nominated for Copland?
Oh yeah, years and years back. Did he not win it for Copland?
No, he's not won best actor.
No, he has. I'm pretty sure. No, he won best screenplay for Rocky.
Yeah, he's not best actor.
Imagine that though. Imagine that though. Stallone, who can barely string a sentence together, wins an Oscar for best screenplay. Like, I have to imagine that his writing's as slurry as his words. You know what I mean? But yeah, Rambo, Last Blood, not great. I wouldn't even say it's massively worth the watch unless you're morbidly curious.
I am not.
That's definitely the end of that franchise.
No, I'm not going to watch that in a million years. I've never been a fan of Rambo.
I like the original Rambos, like when he goes into Afghanistan and decides he's going to take on the entire Taliban army. Fantastic. The first one when he takes on an entire, like, it's just like a small town, but it's like pretty much the National Guard that comes after him. Like, I love that shit. That's like proper, like, old school action movie. We don't get that nowadays.
Let's see, what else have we been watching? Okay, so The Report.
Is this the Adam Driver one?
It is the Adam Driver one.
I keep meaning to watch this. This looks good.
It is very, very good. It's a talkie talk film.
Yeah.
It's got Annette Bening in it as well, John Hamm.
Oh, John Hamm.
John Hamm's in it as well. He's doing okay for himself.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of, I think he intentionally took a bit of a break after Mad Men finished.
Yeah.
Which was a good idea. But he's coming through he's kind of making his comeback now. And I'm pleased to see that. He deserves to be in stuff.
Yeah, he definitely should be.
So The Report is a true story. And it's about enhanced interrogation.
Nice.
That was brought in with the Patriot Act in Morocco after 9/11.
Yeah.
And so this is set a few years after that. And Annette Bening is a senator, and she's launching like an investigation or a report into the enhanced interrogation techniques that were used and if they were successful or not. And Adam Driver is sort of leading the team who are going through the documents and all that that were created by the CIA, after each interrogation or that kind of thing. And so it's doing flashbacks to when they were first putting these techniques into place. These couple of sick fucks came along and said, well, if you do waterboarding, it'll do this. If you do stress positions, it'll do this. If you loud music and sleep deprivation and all that kind of thing. All the good stuff, yeah.
The best parts of Jack Ryan.
Yeah. And so it's like doing flashbacks to show all this kind of thing happen. It shows a fair bit of torture, so if you're a bit squeamish, then don't watch it. But it is so fucking good.
I fancy this one.
It really, really is. Adam Driver is excellent at it.
The only reason I haven't watched it yet is because it looks like I need to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
And I say that about a lot of films. But I'm finding more and more recently I kind of need to be in the right headspace. Otherwise, I just don't give it time.
Yeah, it is not an easy film to watch at all. And there's another one I'm going to be talking about now in a minute that's just the same. But the report, it's on Amazon Prime or Amazon TV or whatever the hell you call it. And it is very much worth a watch.
Yeah. So, talking about not an easy watch, but for a completely different reason, have you happened to see the Netflix movie 6 Underground?
I have not.
With Ryan Reynolds.
I've actually heard it's decent.
Oh my god, yeah, no? I'm seeing a lot of people saying this is decent. This movie is 2 hours and 8 minutes long, and it is 2 hours and 8 minutes longer than it should be. It is complete Michael Bay. Like, Michael Bay directs it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm not watching it then.
It's basically as if Michael Bay decided to direct a Deadpool movie. It's just fucking shit. Even Ryan Reynolds, and it takes a lot for me right now, because Ryan Reynolds right now is pretty much at the top of his game. Like, okay, he only ever plays Deadpool now. Whatever he makes, whatever movie he's in.
That's all he played before that, though, Kev.
Yeah.
That's all he played before. He was playing Deadpool in the fucking bloody Green Lantern movie.
I'll give you that. I might be being a bit harsh there. But, like, this movie, for me personally, and I say this personally because I have seen that a lot of people are saying it's excellent, it's dire. From the opening scene to the end, it is dire. The writing is awful, the dialogue is awful. Ryan Reynolds delivers awful dialogue reasonably well, if I can give him that, but it's just terrible. The characters themselves are just shit. They're just awful characters.
Oh, just like a character from a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah. Well, they're all written like Michael Bay characters. They all talk like Michael Bay characters. What the fuck happened to Michael Bay? This guy made The Rock. He made The Rock, for fuck's sake. And that movie's awesome.
It's not, though, is it?
That movie's awesome.
It's not.
But now he's like... and it's the most Michael Bay movie you'll ever watch in your life.
I'm watching it then.
Like, the car chase is like... is like a kid with ADHD sort of like making a car chase. Like, nothing to me physically actually makes sense in what's happening. There's one redeeming factor, is this one kid in the movie. He's a British kid. I don't know if he's a British actor, but I feel like he might be. And he does parkour, and that's about the only thing I was interested in. I was like, okay, this kid's interesting.
Jumping up the walls thing.
Yeah. Rest of the movie, I was just like, this is fucking shit. And even Lindsay, like, we were both sat there, and I think I was about maybe an hour and a half in, and Lindsay turned on like, is this movie still on? Like, are we still watching this? I'm glad people are enjoying it, because it's always good when people enjoy a Ryan Reynolds movie, because it means he's going to get more work. But for me, that movie is terrible.
See, I'm glad you said that, because I know that my dad watched it.
Yeah.
And I'm going up there over Christmas. And there's a chance that he probably would have put it on.
Did he like it?
He liked it, aye.
Fair play.
But I'm not watching that now that I know it's directed by Michael Bay. I'm not fucking watching it.
And it is the most Michael Bay movie ever.
No.
Like,
no.
Like, there's literally a scene in the movie when there's like this big fucking... And by the way, the opening to the movie is a car chase, right? And that car chase lasts about roughly 25 minutes of the movie. It is just what is going on. But there's a scene where Dave Franco's in it. He's, James Franco's younger brother. He's the sort of the driver, and he literally drives past a sexy ass woman getting on a Vespa, and the camera takes a couple of seconds to slow the fuck down so that he can, wink and the gun to this woman that's getting on a Vespa. And I'm like, you're in the middle of a fucking car chase, man. Like, what the fuck?
Of course he does.
It's awful.
Was she underage as well? Or?
Hopefully. But honestly, this movie, like, for me personally, you can do a lot better than 6 Underground, and Ryan Reynolds can do a hell of a lot better than that movie.
I don't think he can.
No, he can.
Can he?
He can. he has Buried. Remember Buried when he was in the coffin?
I've never seen
It's a
that.
cracking ass movie. Like, he's fucking brilliant in that movie. And that wasn't very Deadpool-y. That was Ryan Reynolds in a box under the ground for an hour and a half. And it was good. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
I'm sorry, I just think he's overrated. I love Deadpool.
But that is all he does.
I'm sure he's a absolute fucking gent. But let's face it, that's all he plays.
Yeah. Oh no, that's literally all he plays now. And to be perfectly honest, if you give me a choice between a Ryan Reynolds movie or a Chris Pratt movie, I'm taking Chris Pratt every day of the week.
Oh yeah,
because I just, you might get something different with him.
Another true story.
Ooh.
Another one that is not an easy watch, even less than the last one. This is called A Private War. It's on Netflix, and it's the true story of a war correspondent called Marie Colvin.
Right.
She worked for, I think it was the Times.
Okay.
And she was in war situations like Syria, things like that.
Yeah.
And so the story is hers, and it's good. The story is her going to the different war zones and seeing all these just god-awful atrocities, and how it completely fucks her up. She becomes an alcoholic.
Nice.
But she can't give it up. She has to go there and all
she's
that.
She's in too deep.
She's in too deep, and she
knows
knows what side she's on. She's on the side of the
but she has forgotten who she is.
And so she's that's the story. It's her coping with just these awful things.
For that.
It's great. It's,
I feel like I watched the trailer.
Who's in it? Who plays her? Hold on.
I feel like I did watch the trailer. I might be wrong though.
Rosamund Pike, Jamie Dornan, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that.
It is really, really good.
Is Tucci good in it?
Yeah, of course he is.
I feel like he's getting less and less to do in movies nowadays. Like, he seems to be in a lot, but he seems to be doing very little. And it's just I think it's just a case of having Stanley Tucci's name on there.
Yeah, like he was in Spotlight. He was good in that.
But I recently watched all 3 of the Hunger Games, or 4 of the Hunger, however many there is.
He was like the presenter or something, wasn't he?
He does fuck all. Yeah. He does nothing in those movies. Philip Seymour Hoffman though, oh man,
I know.
Damn. That is bullshit. That, bring him back, please.
And Carrie Fisher while you're at it. Go. But yes, A Private War. It's on Netflix. It is damn good, but it is dark.
Yeah,
it is dark.
I imagine it will be.
It is not an easy watch.
So turn the brightness up a bit. Really quickly on this one. I took the girls to see Frozen 2. Yeah, I ain't gonna review it. It is what it is. It's Disney.
Is it the same movie over again, or
they did a couple of different things. They did. Fair play to them. But it's pretty much the same movie again.
This is new for Disney, isn't it? They've done sequels.
Yeah,
but the sequels were always direct to
video. Yeah,
like The Lion King 2 and that never got a cinema release from what I remember. And like Finding Dory, I suppose did. I never saw that.
Yeah. It's all right. It's a very, very, very generic princess story. They try and throw some random shite in there. Songs. This was the most disappointing thing for me. I came out of Frozen 1 after I went to the cinema with the girls, and I came out of Frozen 1 singing some of those songs. I came out.
Let It Go. Everybody bloody yeah.
I came out singing Let It Go. I came out singing Olaf's song, Ever in Summer. Like, I came out singing that.
I've only seen it once.
What was it? Do you want to build a snowman? I was singing that when I came out. I came out of Frozen 2 not really singing any of them, which was like, I was like, what?
That's not the best for a Disney movie, is it?
No.
You want to be having at least one of the songs getting stuck in your head for days.
And the girls listen to the soundtrack all the time because they love it and all that. And they've been listening to the soundtrack, and I'm sitting there going, I don't actually remember what point of the movie that is. So I'm like, I think that's a bad sign for me anyway, personally. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here boiling that I'm not singing Frozen songs all day, every day. But I am, and that's my problem. That's my cross to bear. So, but yeah, I went to see Frozen 2. It's decent. It's okay. It's making a shit ton of money. It always was gonna. Fair play, Disney. Twats. There'll probably be a third, and apparently there's already petitions out there for Elsa to have a girlfriend in the third one.
Of course there is.
Because that has to be done these days. It's like, no,
it doesn't. It's a fucking Disney cartoon. No.
I want my princesses to have princes. I don't want to see two princesses together.
Disney princesses taking a cock, alright? Just fucking don't touch me.
I'm with you there. I watch a lot of stuff on Pornhub that shows that. So, what else you got?
Next one is another true story.
Yay!
Finally got around to watching this one. I was desperate to see this in the cinema and never got around to it. It's Stan and Ollie.
Oh, yeah.
Josie Riley and Steve Coogan. Excellent.
Yeah.
I expected it to be very, very good, but it is excellent. Those two are fucking great.
Who's better? Coogan or Riley? It is John C. Reilly, isn't it?
Reilly.
Yeah. He's fucking class.
Yeah. But
I think his comedy timing and his comedy chops are massively underrated because
he keeps making movies with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
That will kill your career. But I think his timing sometimes, his actual comedic ability is fantastic. Like I remember watching him in films like fucking Magnolia with Tom Cruise and all that, and it's quite a serious role for him and everything. You're just kind of like, yeah, like he's a decent actor and all that, but then all of a sudden he pops up in Will Ferrell movies, and you're like, But I've heard Stan and Ollie's fantastic.
It is. It really is. It's set sort of towards the end of their career. And so they're doing like a sort of round the world tour to raise funds to make their another movie, like I think it's a Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
And so they're doing the tour, and they're trying to. I think they've had a break. They had a break because there was a thing at the start where they were arguing for more money.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember which one because it was a few weeks ago that I watched it, or about a month ago. I think it was Steve Coogan's one.
I don't know. I don't know who plays who. So the thin one.
The thin one.
Stan.
Is that Stan?
Ollie was the fat one, wasn't he? Or was Ollie the thin one?
Stan Laurel was the thin one. Yeah, go with that. But he didn't back up Hardy, so Hardy left and Stan stayed, and so they broke up, and now this is them getting back together to make another movie, and so the studios don't really want a great deal to do with them because they're sort of considered has-beens at this point, and so they are doing a tour to raise money for their film.
Oh, like Between Two Ferns.
Who was it? Oh yeah. No, not really. So they do some good recreations of Laurel and Hardy's comedy, which is really, really, really well done. It's just like it's just a nice little movie, and it's it doesn't sort of. There's no explosions or anything like that. It's just a nice little movie when these guys are just acting their hearts out, and it's great. It's just great to watch.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be good from the trailers and that. Like I say, I was dying to see it in the cinema. I just never bloody got round to it. So
it's not one that I'm overly eager to see, but I will watch it at some point. I definitely will, because I like a bit of Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly. Like I say, he's got good comedy ability, so I'll give it a go at some point.
Yeah, fair play.
Plus, it followed like it was not 2 months after Holmes and Watson came out, So it's like
that's on Sky Cinema.
The less said about that, the better.
Keeps coming up.
Oh, you know who's
up.
You know who's in that? Plays a young Sherlock Holmes, little Hector from Homer's Ashes.
Huh.
Plays young Mark Zammett. He plays young Sherlock Holmes
Right.
in the Holmes and Watson movie.
I'm sorry, going to watch it.
No, I definitely wouldn't. Definitely wouldn't. I think this is probably going to be my last one because the other ones I'm looking at, I'm not really that fussed with. But I've got like some TV shows, but Jumanji 2.
Oh shit!
Jumanji: The Next Level.
Please tell me it's good.
Watched it with the girls. It's as good as it can be. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's nothing groundbreaking. It is a sequel to Jumanji, I guess.
Yeah.
The Rock's amazing in it again. Kevin Hart is actually bearable again. Like, I found him quite bearable in the first one. Karen Gillan's just fucking awesome. She's amazing. She's really good in that second, like, good in the first movie, but she's really good in the second movie. But they kind of flip it on its head a little bit this time. So, like, you know how they get to choose their avatars in the first one? Mm-hmm. They just get thrown into the game because the game's, like, half bust.
Yeah.
It's, like, half broken. So they get thrown into the games, so they're not in the same characters that they were last time.
Yeah, because The Rock is, like, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which is awesome. And Kevin Hart is Danny Glover. He's fantastic. Jack Black is now playing the black guy instead of the girl. Which,
right, okay.
Which I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Jack Black isn't making enough anymore. Like, because the two Jumanji movies right now, the first one and the second one, Jack Black steals the fucking show in both of them. Like in the first one when he's playing a girl and he just sinks totally into that role of playing a girl. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff that he was saying in the second one may be borderline racist for a white man to say, but it's fucking hilarious the way he's delivering the lines, like he's like, shit, please, and all this kind of thing. You're just like, Jack Black went in on that role, and I think it's fantastic. He's great. Again, what's his name? Dwayne Johnson's just incredible in it. It is a good movie. It's good for a sequel. It's a very good movie, in fact. Just they kind of push it a little bit too far in my eyes. I don't really know what I mean by that, but like, you know how you have to up the ante?
Yeah.
So like, do the same again but better. Like, what was that fucking, was it a TV show that did that, or 21 Jump Street?
Oh, 22 Jump Street.
Do exactly what you did last time, but
we'll give you double the money.
Yeah, it kind of has that feeling like they're just doing the same sort of thing, just better. That's all I can really say about it. I do recommend it. I definitely think you should see it if you enjoyed the first one.
I'm going to watch it.
You're
going to the first one.
They throw in a new character though, and this was kind of my problem with it. The new character they throw in, I don't like the actress, and I feel shit for saying that. I feel awful for saying it, but I just can't get around this actress. She was in Ocean's 8 as well. I can't think what her name was. She's got like a one word name. I just can't get around her. I don't find her funny. People clearly do find her funny. I don't find her that funny, and just her character just did nothing for me. And I don't necessarily think we needed to add a new character. I know you kind of have to as you're going on, but I think Jumanji would have been alright because they switch.
Because they're playing different characters.
Yeah, but because they're playing different people, it works. But it is what it is.
You know, it is okay to say you don't like an actress.
That
doesn't make you a bigot.
You can't these days.
Well, you can.
I just say,
saying. If someone says to me, okay, I don't like this actress, is sexist or that, then fuck you. Because I'm allowed to say, alright, I don't like Adrian Brody. I don't like Adrian Brody. I don't think he's that good an actor. I think he's fucking massively overrated.
He's overrated big time, yeah.
But how is that different than saying, okay, I don't like Adrian Brody, I also don't like her. I don't think she's a good actress.
No, I'm with you.
That is not sexist.
I'm with you. I just like to choose my words carefully these days.
Well, you're not thinking of running for politics, are you?
Has 365 turned a corner? Has Kevin turned a corner? I don't know.
He's been talking about veganism, so I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, apart from that character and that actress, I enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. And if you like the first movie, you definitely have to see this one. And with The Rock, obviously because The Rock is Danny DeVito and Kevin Hart is Danny Glover. When he does the smolder, fucking Kevin Hart turns around, he's like, "What's the matter? You having a stroke?" just like old man lines like that just crack me up. And you know what? Danny DeVito's still got it. He's only really in the start of the movie, but he's still got it. I quite liked him in it. And there's a nice callback to the original movie.
Isn't it like that?
A really nice nod, which they mention it towards the start of the movie. It didn't compute, and then later on, I was like, "Oh, that's class." Like, it actually brought a nice big smile on my face. I'm like, and it's not like a big thing, but it was just like, well done. Like, that's how you end your movie. Just give it a nice little nod to the original.
You got to do that.
I mean, we can't have Robin Williams in there, so.
Bless him.
But what they did was great. So yeah, top points.
Right. I'm not going to talk about any more movies either. I've got a couple of TV shows to talk about. So, first one, this is not going to take me long. BBC's War of the Worlds. I heard this was atrocious. Yeah. It could have been great. Yeah. And then it wasn't.
Right. Why? BBC budget, or
it looked like shit.
Right. BBC budget.
Don't fucking say that's about the budget, because they did that shit back in the 30s or whatever. And okay, so it's a movie from the 30s, but it looked a damn sight better than the fucking BBC one. The ending was rushed.
Yeah.
It just did a time jump, and then they're all gone now.
Okay. Rafe Spall good in it though.
Of course he is. It's Rafe Spall. But
Rafe Spall.
And Robert Carlyle was in there as well.
Burton's Bob put up a review of it, and it's one of my favourite reviews that I've read of anything that I haven't seen. Burton's Bob said that about Robert Carlyle being in it. Said the only real, I think it was like the only real thing that made it feel better was the fact that Robert Carlyle knew he was in a piece of shit, so he acted accordingly. Basically saying, like, he knew it wasn't great, so he didn't have to put a lot into it.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Robert Carlyle's doing that a lot though, because he's in that Once Upon a Time.
I've never watched that.
Don't get me wrong, he's the best thing in it, but he knows how cheesy that show is, and he acts like a total cheeseball.
He was in one of the Stargate shows.
Yes,
Stargate Universe.
Yes, he was.
He was actually really good in that.
That wasn't a bad show.
Only got one season though.
It wasn't a bad show either.
Or was it two?
Just the one.
Was it one?
Yeah.
So War of the Worlds, it was not good. It left me going, I want to watch the Tom Cruise movie.
Ooh. I know. Jeez,
But yeah, seriously, the Tom Cruise movie is better.
Tom Cruise movie's crap.
There you go. There you go, aye.
So I'm going to start with a show that, even though we haven't done an episode in a couple of months, this show has pretty much consumed my life as of late. I'm fucking obsessed with it. I've messaged you countless times about it.
It's annoying.
I have been watching The Vikings from the start. The season 6 is on Amazon now, and it's going week to week.
Yeah.
Why does Vikings do that? Because has it always been like that?
It's always been like that.
Right.
But you've binged it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're up to date with it now?
No, I'm not.
Right.
Christ, no, God. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've done seasons 1 to 4. I'm on part 2 of season 4. Because for some reason, you get more episodes, so I'm happy, but they split.
Yeah, they started doing that in the later series.
Which is fine, because it means you get more episodes. But I fucking love this show. I don't know why I never watched it to start with.
Yeah, you get that a lot. You get that a lot with Vikings, to be fair.
Shits on Game of Thrones. On Game of Thrones.
Easily.
Don't care what anybody says. Obviously, production value wise, I would say Game of Thrones wins outright. But acting wise, storyline wise, I get historical accuracy, because I kind of like every now and then I'll go on Wiki and I'll check on a character, like how true is that? And for the most part, apart from maybe Ragnar, it looks like they get it pretty spot on. So I think Ragnar's like an amalgamation of 3 people or legends.
Was it Ragnar Lothbrok?
Yeah, but they seem to be saying that, like, most things I've read is like it's sort of, they can't tell if it was one legend or like 2.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
Which is fine. But
I was watching a thing on the YouTube.
There was a Lothbrok. There was a Ragnar Lothbrok. There was, but it's like, did he do this or?
Aye. The thing was about the actually Ivor the Boneless, and that everybody sort of, years after, everybody wanted to be a son of Ragnar Lothbrok.
Yeah.
So not all of them actually were.
Right.
I think that Ivor was, or the documentary said Ivor was, but a lot of them that said they were sons of Ragnar weren't actually sons of Ragnar. They just thought it sounded like a coup.
Well, you would want to be.
And
then the lassie in the episode I just watched last night, she pretty much said that. She's like, you are a son of Ragnar Lothbrok, and it's not an easy thing to be a son of Ragnar, but everybody wants to. When he was trying to choke her out while have sex with her, which I loved. Ivar's a badass. Like, I've only got one full episode of them as a grown up, but does he go into battle at any point?
Yes.
How?
Spoilers. I'm not telling you what's happening. Fuck off.
But his legs are all fucked. And they showed you it. Like, they showed you his legs.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, man, he's not standing up on that. Does he stand up at some point?
Spoilers.
He's going to have to if he's going to go into battle.
Spoilers.
Or do they like time to a horse?
Spoilers.
And they make him a minotaur.
Spoilers.
But yeah.
They do what they did in Game of Thrones, and they just get a fucking giant to carry them about.
Love it. Hodo.
Yep.
I love it.
Same actor.
But I
can't. Busy now, will he?
I cannot rave enough about Vikings. If you haven't watched it, I tried to watch it like about a year ago. I think I got 2 or 3 episodes and I was like, this is fucking boring. Because it was. I mean, the first couple of episodes, you have to admit, it's hard to get into that show.
It's a fair bit of world building, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get into it, but once you're in, it's just so rich and just there's so much there. And I find myself thinking about other Viking like communities that we don't even know about, like we haven't been told about or anything like that, and I'm kind of like, there's got to be more of them out there. There's got to be like other Ragnars out there, and then every now and then you get a new character comes in, but he's not Ragnar. He's not. Like, I've got that King Harold, he's just come in just now. He's a bit of a tit. Don't really like him. I don't think Bjorn likes him either. I love Bjorn.
Bjorn's great.
Tell when, because obviously I know Ragnar dies. I've already read that, like, far ahead kind of thing. When he dies, does Bjorn just take over and become the main guy?
Spoilers.
Oh, you're shit.
I'm not telling you anything.
I'm only like 2 or 3 episodes away from it.
Don't be such an impatient prick and watch it then.
Yeah, I'm loving Vikings. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great show. I wish I watched it back in the day, but it's good that I didn't, because now I get to binge it.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it.
Except, see, the thing is with that is you keep on saying stuff about that's happening in season 4 as you're watching it, and I binged the fuck out of season 4. And I've got very little memory of anything that's happening that you're saying. So
I've remembered most stuff so far. Like, there are a few things, like they reference something from season 2, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, that did happen. I was like, how didn't I pick up on that? And I love the seer. He's great. He's a great character.
Yeah, a little bit like something at the 300.
Yeah, I do like him though. And I love when Floki went to visit him, and then he licked Floki's hand instead, and I was like, I love Floki. Great character arc for that guy. But yeah, so Vikings. Crack on.
Yeah. We'll stay in the same vein then. The Witcher.
Yeah, I saw you were watching this.
Yeah.
Loving it?
Damn it, it's so good.
Finished it?
No.
Oh. Part-timer.
Not yet.
You'll get there.
Well, it only went up on Friday.
How many episodes is it?
10, I think. And we've seen Star Wars last night.
Yep, we were.
You know,
I still got home and put in 2 episodes of Vikings though.
Yeah, I can keep my fucking eye. Oh, I went to the pub with Paul, so.
Can't.
And then I came back and I was going to watch another episode, but I couldn't keep my eyes open. So, you know,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, Henry Cavill is excellent.
He's all about this show, though.
As Geralt, he really is.
We were talking about it last night. He's like a massive super fan.
Yeah, he's just absolutely bang on.
Yeah,
with Geralt, he really, really is. The lass that's playing Yennefer, who is a mage.
I know her because I'm playing Witcher 3.
Alright, I wondered what you were going to do with your answer, to be honest.
I was twiddling my nerves.
Yeah, she's actually very, very close to the character as well. So props to her. I've seen her before in something, but I can't think of what it is. And I don't want to Google it in case I get spoilers. Same with the Bard, the guy who's playing the Bard, who is funny as fuck. And I've seen him in something before, but I just can't think of what it is. I'll Google it after I finish watching it.
Would you like me to Google it for you now?
No. Yeah, so it has. I was saying to you guys in the car last night. It feels like it is the Witcher universe.
Yeah.
Which is a very difficult thing to get right. You know, the music that's being played is, you know, there are scenes in the game where you're sort of going through marketplaces and all that kind of thing, and the game's playing. It's just the game has got an awesome soundtrack.
Yeah.
And the show matches that, and it keeps in with that kind of, you know, it's the music that it's playing while he's doing fights and all that sort of thing. It gets the atmosphere right.
Yeah.
The only thing I've found is, and I don't want to judge it just now until I've seen it to the end, is there's a lot of jumping about.
Right.
Like timey-wimey jumping about, not going like Mario. So there's a lot of timey-wiminess in between episodes.
Right.
Like I was watching it and it was going along, and then the next episode seemed to be in the past for some reason.
Okay. And
no real explanation other than a callback to the first episode, which is fine.
Vikings does that, by the way.
Yeah. So that's fine, but then I don't know if it's going for something,
right?
And it's going to be a payoff or whatever in the final episode, maybe. I don't know. So I'm not judging it on that until I've seen it all the way through. But it was just a little bit. I felt a little bit disjointed when it was like, what? Huh? What?
Yeah.
So that was it. Just threw me a little bit, but you know, hopefully it'll pay off at the end. I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. But Henry Cavill is fucking great.
Are there any episodes where he's like on a way to do a mission and then gets asked to do a different mission and then ends up doing a completely different side quest?
Because
that would be hilarious.
Well, there aren't any people stood with like exclamation marks over their heads like that.
That would be hilarious.
That would be a little bit on the nose.
Does he walk up to a door and like an A comes up over the door?
That would be great. No, there is a line in the first episode where he goes to a town and the lass in the town goes, well, you can go to this guy here if you want to earn some extra coin to buy yourself some new weapons or new clothes.
That's brilliant.
And I was like, fucking that's yep. I'm in it.
That is. Does he ever like? Does it ever come up on the screen that he's got like a choice to make? No, it doesn't do that. I just think it would be great if like a series of The Witcher starts, and it's like he has like a clear mission in the first episode that he's gonna like go and like do this thing, and then you spend like 8 episodes just doing side quests, just like off slaying dragons and shit like that, and then like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Right, I'll go back to that.
Tell you what, maybe the Black Mirror show that came out earlier this year.
Yeah.
What was it? Bandersnatch? Something like that?
Yeah, aye.
You never know. You might get a Witcher episode of that.
Class. I love that.
But yeah, so far I'm like 5-6 episodes in. So far it's just excellent.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a go once I'm up to date on Vikings. That'll be the next thing. I am looking forward to checking it out because, like I said to you last night in the car, like from everything I've read, Cavill's just a massive Uber fan, and it sounds like he's nailing it. So
yeah,
and I've not seen anybody write any negative stuff about it.
The only thing I've read is someone said it. Who was it? Someone said it was like Hercules on a bigger budget. I can't remember who said it on the Facebook.
That was Johnny Wright. But that's not.
I don't really know what that means because I never watched Hercules or Xena. So
Hercules was amazing, but it was very 90s. It was very low budget. So was Xena. They were both pish, but great for that time. You know, Kevin Sorbo as a Hercules was fucking great. That's all they were. They were just shit, but great for that time. Like, you couldn't go back and watch them now. So yeah, I guess it is an updated Hercules or whatever. But what are you going to get from a Witcher TV show? You're going to get the game, aren't you? It's like set in that period. It's
anyway.
So my second TV show is one that I was going to talk about during the news. Because I'm a little bit pissed off. In fact, fuck it, I'm really pissed off about this.
No.
Daybreak.
Oh yeah. I saw you were raving about that, weren't you?
I don't get this. I do not get this, because the official response from Netflix, the official thing that they've put out, is that Daybreak got lost in a sea of original content, which is fine because Netflix does put out so much original content. It's unreal. Like, a new series every week, new movie every week. So I get that, but let's be honest. A good portion of the shit they're putting out is exactly that shit. Like, not everything they put out there is fantastic.
No.
Whereas Daybreak, it's super original. I raved about it because I genuinely loved it. The way it's put together, like the directing, the themes that it follows, they change the narrative all the time. Which I realised a good halfway through that it's based off a graphic novel, like a set of graphic novels. And when you know that it's based off a set of graphic novels, yes, it plays like a graphic novel on screen. Like, for instance, the first two episodes, you're introduced to your main characters. The main character is Josh Wheeler, and it's all about the apocalypse and dealing with the apocalypse. And after the apocalypse, anybody under the age of 18 has lived. Anyone over the age of 18 has become what they call a ghoulie. Just another way of saying that they're a zombie.
Right.
But they're not zombies as such, because whatever the thing was that caused the apocalypse has made them just sort of relive the last 5 minutes of their life. So they just walk around in an endless fucking daze, just sort of like, I need to go and buy those shoes from that shop. I need to go and buy those shoes from that shop. So but that's by the by. Unlike how The Walking Dead made them the main threat throughout the first couple of seasons, and then it became the real humans.
What if, like, the last 5 minutes of your life you were having a shit?
You'd just be constantly having a shit?
Or
it doesn't work that way. It just makes you into a mindless drone kind of thing, which is where we're all going anyway. But so it focuses on the kids, and it's sort of like this Warriors kind of thing, and I love the Warriors, so instantly I bought into this, where California or is it LA? No, it's LA. The whole thing's set in LA. It's been separated into different sort of gangs. So you've got, like, the cheerleaders have made their own gang up in the top corner. The jocks are over in their corner. The nerds are in their corner, you know. And they've all made their own little gangs, but Josh isn't beholden to any gang. He's just he's a lone wolf kind of thing. He's just going around doing his own thing. But the main thing I loved about this show is the way they switched it up all the time. So he's like Zach Morris, talks to the camera, he talks to you as a viewer. He's always breaking the fourth wall. But he's going back into the past and he's having flashbacks about what happened before the apocalypse, and within those flashbacks he's talking to you as well. So he breaks the fourth wall within a fourth wall within the fucking flashbacks and all that shit, which I loved. But then, like, you get to the third episode and something's happened to him that sort of incapacitates him for the episode. And that's when the young lass who hangs around with him, the camera comes to her and she's like, yeah, you thought this was Josh's show. This isn't Josh's show, this is our show. So now I'm taking over. And she's like, but I don't do none of that fourth wall breaking shit. So we're going to go straight to narration. And then she stops talking, and obviously the voiceover comes on, and she's like, yeah, so this is what I did during the apocalypse and all this. And I loved all that. They changed it up so much throughout the series, but like, it gained this fantastic little cult following straight away. Like, you can go on Facebook and there's pages where people are talking about it. There's Reddit, people are like doing like fan theories and all this shit. Like, it's got a huge following online. It's got this great following, and Netflix just turned on and cancelled it. I don't understand. Because
you might get Amazon picking it up.
I genuinely think somebody will pick it up. Somebody's going to get it because they have to. It's a cracking little show, really well done. Matthew Broderick, man, he's not done anything for years.
Oh, so yeah,
and he's fucking great in this.
I didn't realise that.
Plays the head teacher. He's fantastic. Yeah, like, but the show, from the first episode to the last episode, is constantly changing things up and constantly doing things different, and it just shocks you every time. You're kind of like, oh man, they fucking got me there. They fucking got me. And then of course, you get a couple of like scenes that, because I'm a massive bitch, got me. But yeah, but no, like I felt like, of all the series I've watched on Netflix in a couple of years now, that's probably one of my favourites, because it was fresh all the time.
Yeah, you don't get that a lot. That something that feels completely new and original and all that. So yeah, it is a bit gutting when it gets cancelled like that.
Because I was genuinely saying to a couple of the other lads that I've got to watch it, I'm like, this definitely is getting a second series. The way it ends as well, 100%. 100%.
There's nothing fucking worse than that.
And then they just said, no, we're cancelling it. I'm just like, I just don't get that. Especially when you go online and you see like the following it has. What do you mean it's been lost in a sea of original content?
There'll be a petition somewhere.
Hopefully, I'll sign it. It's the first one I'm signing. But yeah, Daybreak, if you get a chance to watch it, you definitely should. It's interesting as fuck. Like I say, so they go from him to her, and then there's another character called Wesley, sort of like the black samurai of the group. And when it comes to his episodes, he sort of looks at the camera as if he's about to start talking, and then the Wu-Tang Clan, RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, like it's a rap group from fucking the 90s, 20s, like it's all the way through. RZA does the voiceover for him, and he's like big into his hip hop game. He's big into his like he's done a lot of movies lately. He works a lot with Quentin Tarantino now, and he comes on and he's like, yeah, so this is Wesley's episode, and Wesley was going to do the voiceover, but he's too much of a bitch, so I'm here, and I'm RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. And I'm just like, again, you've completely thrown us off my game, and this is what we've got for this episode, and I fucking love it. And they just did it all the way through. It's great. It's rare to get that. For me, it's rare. I've not seen many other TV shows that do it. And then they cancelled the fucker.
Yeah. Another one that's still been cancelled, Pennyworth. And I know you've watched this as well.
Pennyworth. Oh yeah, that is fucking class.
Yeah. You finished it, right?
Yeah. Love that show.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't know what it's about, it is set in the 60s in London, and it's Alfred Pennyworth as a young man making his way in the world.
A young whippersnapper.
Doing the actor doing a phenomenal Michael Caine impression, has to be said. He is playing it as Michael Caine's Alfred.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Which is absolutely bloody fine. Paloma Faith.
She is... didn't see that coming.
There's no real words to describe.
She's a revelation, I'll say.
There you go, that'll do. She's fucking awesome.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Pretty much like it's episode 1, scene 1. She's in.
Yeah.
Because does she not like kidnap a lass at the first episode, and the Yorkshire accent, and it's just she's sinister as fuck.
She's fantastic.
And bloody hell, I didn't know that she could act.
I loved her. I loved her.
I'm a big fan of her music. I don't know if... Do we know who's singing the Bond theme for No Time to Die?
I have no idea.
I'll
but
give it Diploma
we,
Faith.
we keep
I've been saying that for years.
We keep
Give it
saying
Diploma Faith, not fucking Sam Baggy Bollocky, whatever the fuck his name is. What was I saying? Oh, Pennyworth. Yeah. So there's no like sort of real. There's no real like Batman villain type things or anything like that going on. It's just Alfred Pennyworth kicking ass and taking names.
Mm-hmm. You got Thomas and Martha in there.
Yeah,
they're in there,
okay,
but they're not in it too much.
I like that. I don't need it because that's kind of, for me, that's kind of what happened with Gotham.
Yeah,
is that the thing that sold me about Gotham when they announced it was it's going to be all about Jim Gordon, all about him.
Yeah,
and then it wasn't.
Not really, no. Like he was the main character, he was the main thing, but they kind of shoehorn Bruce in a lot. Like Bruce is in there a lot.
But then from what I saw, I mean, I think I made it to. Okay, the last episode I watched was when Bruce opened his dad's Batcave. Was that season 1?
That was like season 1, yeah.
That's as far as I made it.
Yeah. I still watched it right the way through. I still love it, but
the reason I got sick of it and got pissed off with it is that Jim Gordon wasn't the main character. The fucking Riddler was, or the Penguin was the main character.
Season 1 Penguin's the main,
and it's just not what I signed on for, and it was a load of shite. So anyway, but Pennyworth,
I'm with you there because I like yourself. I was 100% sold on the fact that two things. It's a Gotham show about Gotham, so Gotham is going to be the main character. That was my thing. And the other thing was it was Jim Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be like this procedural police drama with the Gotham police in Gotham taking on Gotham villains. And then like scene 1, episode 1, Bruce Wayne's parents are killed, and I was like, I think I know what's going to happen. Yeah. I stuck with it because I love
Bruce
the
Wayne
villains.
was investigating the murder and all that. I just remember going, well, you just fuck off back to school, you little shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. I stuck with the show right to the end, and I still love the show. I think it's great.
It's finished now, right?
I think it is, yeah. But just the sheer cheese of it after a while just became the only reason I was watching it. Like, how cheesy can this show get? Let's just see how far they can push the boundaries. Pretty fucking far.
Anyway, Pennyworth.
Yeah, Pennyworth's great.
Aye, so you enjoyed it?
Oh, I loved it. I loved his mates, the two lads that are helping him all the time. I loved them. Great little characters. Just the whole thing all the way through as well. Like I think the overarching story with him taking on like the what would they call the bads? What would they call like the court or something? It's sort of like a court of owls type thing.
It's sort of like that. It was so it's going back to them, his mates during the war.
Yeah,
and they join another platoon or something like that, and then the big bad was the leader of that platoon because Pennyworth took the fucking piss out of him or something.
Yeah, he basically said something about him pissing his pants or something.
Aye, let's take it too far. But I love the fact that it's clearly like it's an 18 rated or R rated, I guess. Show they're fucking and cunting all over the place.
Yeah, they say fuck quite a lot, but it's on Stars.
Yeah, aye,
they get away with it on Stars,
and the violence in it as well. Which you don't. Okay, so it's it's an 18 adult rated show. But they did not shy away from the violence in the show at all. That was good to see.
Not at all. I loved it. I think it's great. I'm glad it's getting another series. See what they do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
And even if they did like don't even do a time jump. Just stay where you are. Do another series where you are. Yeah, just sit there. Keep doing your thing. I loved it. Jason Fleming as well. Proper hammering it the fuck up.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was probably the only one who was a little bit Batman-y because of his bloody silver nose on and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that was fine. It's Jason Fleming.
But as you say, Paloma Faith steals the fucking show.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to be talking about Rise of the Skywalker in a little bit. But and it seems to be getting a lot of mixed feelings. out on the internet. But one thing that seems to be getting pretty much all positive feelings is a Disney Plus show, Mandalorian.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say about this because I haven't watched it. So
it is amazing.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I'm not going to say too much about it because
stuff about Baby Yoda.
Yeah, everybody's going on really in on that, and it's great. It's a good character. It's wonderful what they're doing with it. I love it being there.
Does it have the Force?
Yes,
it does.
Yes, a little bit. He's not as powerful as well. He's pretty fucking powerful, to be fair. But so basically, the show is about the Mandalorian, who is basically a Boba Fett bounty hunter, but they're called Mandalorians. He goes around doing missions, and at the end of the first episode, he finds that his mission to find something is actually Baby Yoda. But it's not Baby Yoda. Everybody keeps calling it Baby Yoda. It's not. It's not Yoda. And I wish people would fucking...
Is it set after Return of the Jedi? Is that when it's set?
It is set after no. Yes, it's set after Jedi, before Awakens. So the Empire's gone, and the First Order isn't a thing yet.
Alright, okay.
So it's kind of like in this
I'm okay with that, because... when we went in to see Force Awakens, it was like, well, how the fuck?
Yeah. It's set during this nice period of time that is very quiet. So like the galaxy's just kind of really sort of ticking over, and there's no like nothing really too bad kind of happening and all that. And the Mandalorian's he's able to just like, you know, skirt from planet to planet and just do his bounty hunting thing, which is great because it then becomes a spaghetti western. Like, you're taking away all the fucking bullshit of the Star Wars universe, but you can still have the bullshit of the Star Wars universe kind of in the background, but we can just focus on this one character who's just going around being a bounty hunter, doing a bounty hunter shit. He's fucking... I hope they haven't taken the helmet off yet, and long may they not do that. Keep it on. Pedro Pascal's voice is fucking great in it. He's fantastic in it. Carl Weathers is in it. Carl Weathers was, Predator with Arnie.
Oh shit! Right,
yeah,
okay.
That's Carl Weathers.
Right.
He's in there. He's brilliant. Everyone's really good in it, and the show just keeps getting better and better and better. One episode I wasn't overly fussed with, but when you do watch it, you'll know straight away which episode it is, because within 5 minutes you're kind of like, I might be out on this one. But after that, it picks it up again and it just goes hammer and tongs.
Doesn't go in Naboo, does he? Doesn't go in Naboo, does he?
No. A lot of planets that you may or may not know. Lot of cameo characters that you'll get straight away. You'll get a lot of references to the Star Wars universe, obviously. Yeah, I just think it's fucking great, and I think Jon Favreau's done a fucking fantastic job with it. And I would like to see Jon Favreau become the sort of Kevin Feige character of the...
I would as well.
I would love to see
that
this
earlier on.
I would love to see this, because they need someone, not Kathleen Kennedy, because fuck her, but they need someone to step in. And let's be honest, and I've said this countless times recently, yes, Kevin Feige is in charge of the whole enchilada, but had Favreau not nailed it with Iron Man, we wouldn't have had an MCU.
Oh yeah, exactly. If Iron Man sucked, then there would have been no MCU. We give Feige a lot of credit, but I think he kind of owes a lot to Jon Favreau, to be honest. I do. And I would like to see Favreau given the baton for whatever Disney universe is going to be for Star Wars, because it clearly needs someone to have a plan. I agree completely with you. I was going to talk about The Crown Season 3. Olivia Colman's as good as you would expect. Yeah. Next. So I agree with you 100%, and I think that they need to take a step back. They've finished their saga now. They've finished their big Skywalker saga. Yeah. They need to take a complete step back. No Star Wars movies for at least 5 years. Yeah, please don't. Kathleen Kennedy needs to go.
She has to go.
And before anybody starts, on the fucking Twitters or whatever, don't worry, it's because she's a woman.
It's absolutely because she doesn't get Star Wars. How can a woman get Star Wars?
Yeah, she's fucking thinking about a casserole or something instead of bloody Star Wars.
It's a space western.
On.
What woman has ever done a space western right?
No, this franchise needs someone at the helm who knows Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I was actually thinking earlier on that John Favreau would be fucking good in that role.
He would,
because the thing is, the reason that people are having a problem, or a big reason that people are having a problem with Rise of Skywalker, is that it had a hell of a lot to do, and a hell of a lot of course correction to do, because of the shit show that Last Jedi was.
Yeah,
and you've in your sort of 9 hour or 8 hour whatever trilogy, you've wasted a fucking third of that with The Last Jedi. Because one of the first things we said when we left the cinema last night is, you could easily just not watch Last Jedi. You could easily go from Force Awakens to fucking Rise of Skywalker. Okay, so you would have missed Luke dying.
Literally what I was going to say.
That's it.
The only thing The Last Jedi affects from going from Force Awakens to that is Luke dying. It's the only thing.
So, literally, nothing happens in that movie.
No. Because even...
that changes the trilogy.
Even the characters that Rian Johnson brings in, like Rose, I think Rose is the main one, but even the characters he brings in, JJ uses them, but basically demotes them to like third tier characters. Mm-hmm. Rose does nothing in this movie. She might as well not be there, and I wish she wasn't in The Last Jedi. And I know like a lot of people gave her hate and all that, but my reasoning for not wanting her in there is because I just didn't like the story between her and Finn. She completely took Finn out of The Last Jedi, and he did nothing.
Well, that's the thing, because that was going to be Finn's arc, because he was going to sacrifice himself to save the rebels after, he was part of the Empire, or the First Order.
Yeah.
And so that was his arc. He was going to sacrifice himself to fucking save the rebels, and then that just didn't happen. And so what does Finn actually do now?
Nothing. You asked a question last night, and I thought I'd answered it. I read an article today with J.J. Abrams doing an interview, and I now know what Finn wanted to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I thought it was the whole Palpatine thing.
Hey, hooligans, this is Michael.
This is Michelle.
This is Jeremy.
From Who the What Now?
The show about
strange stories from the internet. And Bigfoot came over and beat his ass. Oh my god. He knocked him around a little bit, and he just kind of went limp, and Bigfoot left.
Pop culture.
Jean-Claude Van Clam.
I thought
Jean-Claude Van Clam was supposed to be the alien in Predator. Mm-hmm. And did a jump splits and ended up with his batch right in the dude's face.
That's his move.
Do I get the part?
In our crazy lives.
Oh, there's a cat on my back. And then all of a sudden I feel something. I feel a furry paw go down my ass crack. Just slide right down my ass crack. I was like, what are you doing?
You can catch us on all your favorite podcast applications.
Spotify.
iTunes.
Libsyn.
iHeartRadio.
Stitcher.
Your mamas. And wherever else they have quality podcasts.
So don't miss out on the next Who the What Now?
Right, I'll tell you what, we'll just fucking get into the Rise of Skywalker now. We'll just start doing, and this will be a spoiler, because I ain't fucking about now.
No, just...
I'm not really fucking about
with it. Warning, don't be a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably a little bit spoiler heavy. We're gonna get into Rise of the Skywalker. But, so... we talk about the fact that JJ created these three characters, Finn, Poe, and Rey, and he had a plan going forward. And basically, one of the things for Finn in The Force Awakens was that you got a sense that he was a little bit Force sensitive.
Yeah.
Towards the end, he picks up a lightsaber.
That Rey had died.
Aye, yeah, you got that. But towards the end of The Force Awakens, he picks up a lightsaber and fucking pretty handedly battles with Kylo for a little bit before getting smacked down like a bitch. But he does for a little bit. So you had that. Rian Johnson said, "Nah, we're not going to do anything with that storyline because I don't want Finn to do anything in this movie. He's going to go to that casino planet and just be a tit, basically. He's going to hang out with Rose in a story that nobody's going to like. But you know what? We're going to do it anyway."
But the guy's an artist, though.
He's an artist because it's Rian Johnson. And then JJ almost immediately picks that whole thing up again with Finn, with like sort of sense and things a little bit and all that, because apparently when they are sinking into the ground and he's about to tell her what he wants to tell her, JJ Abrams has said in an interview he was going to tell her that he was Force sensitive, that he had a little bit of the Force, he was a little bit like her kind of thing, which I guess wouldn't have made sense to tell her that at that point, but apparently that was going to be the overarching thing with Finn. And then for whatever reason it got dropped.
Well, it could have been. You know, I don't know how far along they were planning on introducing Palpatine. Yeah. Whether it was all the way back in Force Awakens or if it was just like, what the fuck do we do with this movie?
I think that's pure course correction.
But if they had Finn and Rey both Force sensitive, then taken on Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Then Kylo Ren comes back to the light side, and then you've got 3 Jedi taking on the Emperor. That would have been fucking good.
Pretty sweet. It would have been. So let's get into the Rise of the Skywalker, because we went to see it last night. We went to the cinema. I think it's safe to say we both came out a lot happier than we did last Jedi.
Oh yeah, well that's not difficult, is it?
It is safe to say that. So broad thoughts, like how do you feel about the movie?
I feel positive about the movie. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be going back to 4DX. This has nothing to do with the movie itself.
Yeah, I think I'm done with that as well.
Yeah, anyway. But, yeah, I thought that as a Star Wars movie, it was as I was saying it earlier on in the episode, I think it was in the it's fine category.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's, happy days. I think that it dealt with a lot of things. For example, killing off Princess Leia. I actually think it did that well. I actually do. It did it well. It was respectful. You had what's her name with the eyes saying "Good night, Princess" and all that. It could have been done better in the previous movie. We know that. We've talked about that fucking at end.
Was the perfect ending for her.
It was. But she sacrificed herself to affect Kylo Ren.
I'll give it that.
So that he would, turn back to the light side. Because that was the only way it was going to happen. So, okay, fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. That was a massive elephant in the room. I mean, when it came to JJ picking this film back up, it was a huge task on what to do with Leia. Like, I can't imagine how you come up with it. Like, where you get. Like, do you put it in the opening crawl? Like, do you just say that she died between movies?
She did.
Because if they do that, fuck you.
I would have been walking out of that.
And by the way, fuck you, Rian Johnson, if JJ is forced to do that. But they didn't do that. They have her in the movie. I do think some of the CGI on her is ropey as fuck.
Yeah,
you could tell she wasn't there. You could really tell she wasn't there. Apparently, they used some deleted scenes from The Force Awakens to do some of our voiceovers and stuff like that. So they had stuff like the never underestimate a droid. Apparently she was supposed to say that in Force Awakens, but they never used it, so they got to use it here. And it kind of works. It kind of works. It's a nice little throwaway line. You kind of get a little chuckle out of it. So Carrie Fisher's still making you laugh. It's all good. It's all good. That was the biggest problem going into this movie for me. Like, because I went in with pretty low expectations. I wasn't expecting much. Like, knowing the task he had on his hands, and probably the amount of fucking, because we now know that Disney are not going to leave it alone. They're going to play and they're going to tinker in that sandbox, and they're going to make you make choices you probably don't want to make. So I'm kind of like sitting there thinking, he probably had his hands tied most of the time.
Yeah.
But I do genuinely think... I think he did a cracking job. I think JJ did a cracking job. I still think that. My perspective has changed a little bit since last night. But at the end of the day, it hit a lot of the notes that it needed to hit. It did a lot of unbelievable course correction that it needed to do. And then it kind of just... Yeah, it kind of just trotters on. And am I going to remember this movie in great detail? Probably not. Is this making my top 5?
Of Star Wars movies?
Yeah, are you putting this in your top 5? Do you think?
That's a future top 5. I'm doing that right now.
Yeah,
We'll do that on the next episode.
I can't see this making my top 5. I can't. So we'll just run through some of the main things that happen in this. So we pick up on a fucking badass fight sequence with Kylo. Kylo's just tearing ass through the fucking
rock bottom with a lightsaber. That's essentially what the move is.
Which they showed you in the trailer, and I'm bloody glad they did, because I was excited for that. You know, it looked fucking awesome. It was great. And another scene that they briefly showed in one of the trailers that we got later on, I would have liked it to have gone on for a little bit longer, but it was still pretty badass when Rey meets Rey.
Yeah.
It took me by surprise. I fucking loved it.
So I didn't for a second think that we were going to have Rey turn to the dark side.
No, that was always going to be
always going to be like a Force bloody premonition or whatever, a Force dream or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I could have done with that being longer.
Yeah. So Kylo, it turns out from the opening crawl, because they're going to drop in the biggest bit of information in this movie in the opening crawl.
Well, yeah, because we've had a phone call from Emperor Palpatine, apparently.
He's been on the blower. He's been sending out emails.
Maybe it's like from The Dark Knight, where someone's mobile picked up his voice, and then the rebels were like, oh shit!
It is a bit weird that they did that. It is slightly weird. Like you maybe would have thought that they would... just leave him in the background, like maybe Kylo knows that the Emperor's still alive, but I don't think everybody needs to know straight away.
But then they like, fuck it, we've got like what, 2.5 hours? Let's just bloody well get into it. The Emperor's back. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah. Which I think is maybe why they did it in the trailers.
But the thing is, again, if going back to what we were saying, if there was a hand on the rudder, and who would have said, right, okay, so we've got to get from the Force coming back in The Force Awakens to the end of the Skywalkers in Rise of Skywalker, and we want to bring Emperor Palpatine back.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so you've got your Force Awakens to do all the nostalgia, which it did very well, I thought. Excellent. Han Solo's going to die. We're going to have all this happening. Who's Rey? Who's Snoke? Etc. Etc. Your second movie, we're going to do this, and this, and this in the second movie. At the very goddamn end of the movie, we're going to do an Empire Strikes Back. Holy fucking shitballs! Yeah. The Emperor is back.
Yeah.
And then you go into your Rise of Skywalker. I mean, if there was a hand on the rudder, that's how it would have gone.
And it makes sense to do that, but what the fuck was Rian Johnson thinking? No, you know what? I keep saying Rian Johnson, and I feel like a dick for doing it, because Rian Johnson is a good director. I've seen good movies that guy's made. Yes, people say he's an artist, and he is an artist. He's a very, very talented director. But fuck me. When Kathleen Kennedy turned on to him and Colin Trevorrow from the Jurassic World movies, because he was supposed to make the third one, when she took them on board, it should have been, right, this is what JJ's doing, continue that story.
And that's what happens with Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
They get, okay, so you're making your Doctor Strange movie, right, you can do your story, but we need this and this and this and this.
It's what nearly killed fucking Joss Whedon in Age of Ultron, because he had to hit certain points.
Yeah, because in Age of
Ultron,
you've got to
fucking do it.
You had. I mean, it did actually almost break Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
that movie just about broke Joss Whedon, because in the middle of your movie, or I think it was actually the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3, you have Thor going away to a fucking lightning swimming pool.
set up
to
the
take
next
his top off.
Set up the next phase.
Aye. But so they can. It's all fucking Disney. So you've got someone doing that for Marvel.
Yeah.
Why have you not got someone doing that and saying, okay, Ryan, you're allowed to write your own movie here, but we still need to advance our trilogy.
And remember, somebody else has got to take over from you. So, you know, be a little bit respectful to him.
Yeah, don't have fucking Luke Skywalker throwing his lightsaber over his fucking shoulder.
Trevorrow must have been fucking killing himself laughing because he knew he couldn't do it anymore because he's off doing his Jurassic World movies. He must have been fucking killing himself. But I did notice he got a writing credit.
Aye.
So yeah.
Back to Rise of Skywalker then.
So Kylo knows that the Emperor's there. Everybody knows the Emperor's there, and he goes to find a Sith.
He's seen everything.
He goes to find a Sith Wayfinder, which was an interesting little.
See, I thought they were going to like bring holocrons into it and that.
Well, yeah, I think that's basically what that was.
Call it a holocron then. Don't be a dick.
No, you got to call it a Wayfinder because I don't know why, but you have to.
Because nobody knows what the fuck a holocron is.
Yeah. So he goes and finds this little triangle that's going to teach him how to get to Palpatine. He goes to Palpatine, and we get Emperor Palpatine, who I think looked amazing. I think he looked brilliant.
I loved that he was in the dark.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
About 90% of the time, 95% even of the time that he was on screen, he was almost in complete darkness.
Exactly, keep it there.
That's great. That was so well done.
It's visually, and let's be honest, like JJ, he visually is a fucking great director. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. So everything he does, you know, you could probably put a fucking screenshot of it on your wall on a canvas or whatever. That's just the way he operates. Yeah.
First time you see sort of any colour or anything about the Emperor, it's when he gets his power back at the end.
Towards the end,
he sucked the two of them off, and his eyes go yellow like the Sith yellow, and that was great.
Cool.
That was really, really good. So yeah.
So he meets the Emperor, and we get a fucking straight out of a cartoon sort of Emperor using his powers to raise a fucking whole Starfleet of Star Destroyers with fucking planet-killing technology.
Yeah, of course.
Which
now there was in the trilogy of books that came out that isn't canon anymore.
Is this the Aftermath ones?
No, it was called something else, but I can't bloody remember what it was. But I read them back in the day.
Yeah.
And there is a thing in that where that it was creating Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't. If it is that, it wasn't explained very well.
Yeah.
Because they were just growing out of the ground.
And JJ blatantly ripping off his own movies with the whole.
Steve Alton, was that the writer?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I did love how JJ did the old. He loves doing this. Remember, like in Star Trek with the Enterprise coming out of the water or coming out of the dust. So he does it again with the Star Destroyers, which, don't get me wrong, looked fucking amazing. I was just sitting there like, I'm in.
I quite liked that. It was quite, you know, those Star Destroyers are there pretty much the entire movie.
Yeah.
I think there's one gets out to destroy one of the planets.
Kajimi, a new planet. The one with the little Babu Frick, which we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're in that sort of like, I don't know, nebula or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, the whole film.
Pretty much, yeah. But I thought it looked good. It was quite Star Trek-y.
It did look good. It was quite Star Trek-y, but I just loved the way it raged.
And it was quite sort of, you know, the way they were all lined up and that. It was quite Nazi-y. And on that vein, the Final Order?
Yeah, bit on the nose.
Were you a little bit like, shit?
I was kind of like, okay, JJ, maybe dial it back a touch. Which, let's be honest, the First Order were always sort of pretty fucking Nazi-ish anyway.
I mean, George Lucas based the Empire on the Nazis, so fair enough. But Final Order?
Surely somebody had that conversation with JJ though, right?
The first draft had the final solution order. Definitely did. It had to have.
So yeah, you get that.
Spielberg, I blame Spielberg for that.
He meets Palpatine, and Palpatine basically tells him the nice big exposition dump on what he's been doing for the last however long. Oh yeah, it's all fantastic stuff. Ian McDermott fucking nailing it as usual. And then we kind of just pick up with the rest of our characters. Finn and Poe are on a mission to find a spy who's going to give them some vital information. We get a nice little scene of Chewie playing chess with the boys again, which I quite liked. Yeah. Not chess, but whatever that game is.
Space chess, Star Wars chess.
Yeah, it's a nice little callback to Solo. It's a nice little callback to A New Hope. It's just nice. Always good seeing that kind of thing. We've got a nice big space slug on the ship. That fucking boiled me.
Why?
I just didn't like it. I'm like,
you don't want slugs on your fucking Millennium Falcon.
Well, this is yeah. Whatever, we'll pass that. Get some pretty cool scenes there. They get this thing, and it's basically that is the thing that's gonna tell them where the Wayfinder is, the second Wayfinder to find Palpatine.
Did they do that? Oh yeah, they upload it to R2, don't they?
Yeah.
Aye.
And then they basically go on a huge scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Like that is the movie.
So what did you think then?
The movie becomes the Goonies for about half an hour.
they get the information from the guy that plugs into R2 using a SCART lead, and fucking then they get chased about by the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
So and then they start doing something called lightspeed skipping,
which Solo kind of did in Force Awakens. So it's a nice little callback to that. But fuck me, I don't know.
I don't know if it was because we were in those metal chairs.
Yeah.
Because we were getting chucked about all over the fucking place.
I wasn't really buying Poe doing it in the Falcon. I wasn't really buying Poe. Like maybe Rey, because we know Rey has some pretty bitch ass flying skills and all this. And
he's been a pilot for the last 2 movies.
Yeah, but was he even there when they were doing that? In the Force Awakens, they did it briefly in Force Awakens. Was he even
he's
there?
Still a pilot because, but he's a pilot, and then when they land on the planet, Rey goes, "What the fuck did you do that in the Millennium Falcon for?"
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. What did you think of the second planet? Did you notice where it was?
No.
It looked a hell of a lot like Cloud City to me.
Cloud City came into it later on.
It did come into it later on, but it looked a hell of a lot like that.
I can't think of what that one was.
That was the only one that really got me
quickly, and
yeah,
I was trying to hold down the burger.
And then they basically they introduced Charlie from Lost, which I was buzzing with. I got a little chuckle out of me. There's a couple of good cameos in this movie. In fact, like a couple of good old characters as well popping up, which we'll get to. But they basically realise that they have to go to this weird fucking planet to find this ship that has information on where the Wayfinder is, and that's what the information was that they got from the spy.
Yeah.
So they go on a mission, but not before JJ has his first real pop at The Last Jedi, when somebody says, "Why don't we just try the hold-on maneuver?" Which is obviously what she did at the end of Last Jedi, when she space jumped straight through a ship. And I'm sure it's Poe turns around and says, "Don't be ridiculous. That's a once-in-a-lifetime maneuver. It wouldn't work." And I was just sitting there going, "Wow, that's blatant." But we do get a few more. So
we do get a few more. No, I did kind of at that bit. I was actually thinking of Channing Tatum in 22 Jump Street, going that's going to work.
Which, you know what? I'm alright with JJ having a pop at it. I am. It kind of sounds like a respectful line, but it also plays off as I'm taking the piss out of you, mate.
Well, it's kind of that is like the Eagles in Lord of the Rings, or whatever. It's like, well, why don't they do that to everybody? Star Destroyer or the Death Star? Why don't they do that to the Death Star?
Exactly. They go to this planet where there is a ship, and on that ship there is a bit of information that's going to get them to. There's a lot of
go there, do this, pick up this, go to there, go there, translate that, and then go to that, go to that.
Which is fine. But
that is essentially a Star Wars movie.
It's an adventure. It's a space adventure.
So your ship's broken, go to Cloud City.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's already at Cloud City. Bloody, shenanigans.
And they get to the ship, which it turns out this is the ship from Rey's vision, which I thought was nice. I liked that. It was good because it instantly tells you from that scene that he's not going to completely retcon what we were told in the last movie, but he's gonna explain it a lot better than it had already been told, which I think we kind of knew anyway. We kind of knew that Kylo was lying to her.
Yeah,
but we knew that was going to be a thing.
It was actually okay. It was actually quite well done. It's
the way he dealt with it,
the way that the whole reveal of who Rey actually is.
Yeah,
I was okay with it. I was okay with it. And there was a whole lot of things. Oh, okay, she's a Kenobi. She's Leia's daughter. She's bloody Luke's daughter. She's this and this and this and this and this. I don't think there was ever at any point going, no, she's Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter.
I don't remember anybody ever calling it. The closest I ever heard was the one that I said to you last night that I quite liked, was the fact that she was a clone.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. that she was a clone,
where I thought it was going.
It worked, but they stole her away before the Palpatine could get his hands on her.
So I thought Snoke was going to be a clone that didn't work, which it turns out he was, in a way. And I thought, like you say, she was going to be a clone that did work.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting way to go, and you could still have Palpatine up in there. I don't necessarily needed her to be Palpatine's granddaughter, because I now have visions of Ian McDiarmid just shagging his way around the galaxy.
See, I said that in the car on the way down. That never happened in Revenge of the Sith.
No. Never saw that.
I suppose in that fucked up opera thing,
wasn't
that good.
Could have got his Mac on in there.
So, maybe Anakin should have wiped down the seat before he sat down.
Might be Padme's.
Shit! No! Mind blowing on that.
Did you catch the line when what's is it? Palpatine references Leia, but references her as was it General or Admiral? Like, he references her basically from way back when, from fucking Return of the Jedi. He references General Leia or something like that, which because obviously she's Admiral or whatever now, but Palpatine sort of references her from back in
Antilles, isn't it?
Is
her name not Antilles?
It was just a tiny little nod, but it got a little because that's what JJ does best. That's what he does best. So anyway, they have to go and get this thing. We have a whole planet scene where they go to, I think it's one of the moons of Endor.
Yeah, I like that.
Where the bust ass shippers, because they get a dagger that does basically make you think of the Goonies. You know when she lines it up.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It was also like Aquaman. You have to put the bottle in the right place. It was the Goonies.
Which I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I'm kind of just skipping through the movie because
we're not going to go through the entire movie.
There are a lot of big plot points, but I just want to get to the ones that actually mean something. And I'm not talking about when they're able to fucking talk to each other from different time, and because that still boils me. I don't really care for it, to be honest.
I don't have anything. It's just they've got a forced bond or whatever the fuck. So I'm okay with that.
It does work well with the whole them sort of the way he did it sort of with the set. So when he was in Kijimi, but she was on his ship.
And there were a little cheeky lightsaber fight.
And it kept going round, but the set kept changing. I'm sitting there I was that is actually pretty well done. So I've skipped a bit too far ahead. I'm gonna sit on Kijimi for a second because I absolutely love the new character of Babu Frick. Fuck me, stole the movie.
Yeah, he was cool. Cool.
And I'll tell you something, that's a character that 9 times out of 10 in a Star Wars movie I'm just going to fucking turn off. And I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to like it. I'm going to hate it. And that's the first thing I'm going to tell you about in the car. He was shit. Nah. Loved him. Absolutely loved him. I want one. I want a little toy.
Oh, there'll be plenty of them.
Oh, definitely.
Loads of toys from this movie.
Oh, yeah, there's a fair few. We also met one of Poe's old friends.
I thought she was going to be something from one of the cartoons or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think she was.
I definitely thought there was going to be a connection there, but nothing I've seen.
All the snowflakes would have been boiling there because he asked her if she wanted her hole.
He did. Twice.
Yeah.
Well, the second time implied.
So either he's greedy or he's not gay.
He's definitely not gay. We'll get to that. But I wasn't overly enthralled with that character. It was just one of these characters.
You're what, like end of the first act, kind of a third of the way through the movie.
She was to set up everybody helping out at the end, because she basically says, "I think you'd be surprised who will actually give a fuck."
I don't think she was needed. In there particularly. I mean, she was all right, I suppose.
She's a bit of a badass.
Yeah.
But so we got that little scene there because 3PO has some sort of directive in his mental whatever, where he is not allowed to decipher Sith language.
Yeah, he's not allowed to he's allowed to read Sith, but he can't. He's forbidden to translate it out.
Yeah.
Which that's okay. That
I quite like that
as a MacGuffin. I think that's okay. You know,
one of the things I really liked about that was that he mentions that it was a law passed by the Galactic Senate kind of thing. Which, if you think about it, Palpatine was part of the Galactic Senate at one point. So that would be something he'd put in place, knowing that. So it's a nice little, like, when you really think about it, it's like he probably put that there. Of course he did. Why the fuck wouldn't he? And it's nice. It's nice. So you get a really see through. You know what, man? 3PO gets a really good arc in this film.
I would have been okay with him not coming back online though.
Yeah, I could have been alright with that. I would have been fine with that.
Okay, so they have to go into his circuitry. They basically have to data him.
Yeah.
So this little fella has to go in and fuck about with his circuitry to unlock Sith translation. Which again is fine. Absolutely, I've got no problem with that. But he's going to forget everything.
Yeah.
And I would have been okay with C-3PO dying at that point.
I kind of thought, I know that's what they set you up for in the trailer. Like, I know that's what they were doing. So I kind of thought that's where they were going to go. And yeah, I'd have been fine with it. I'd have been absolutely fine with it. Because the only real reason that he gets his memory back is so that he can fucking give a bit of exposition towards the end as to how they're going to find Rey.
Yeah.
And he just knows. And it's like, oh, fuck off. So every time it's just 3PO just turns around and goes, oh, actually, mate, I'm a holiday. And then every time, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, 3PO tells them about the Sith language and everything like that. They go to the moon, the Endor moon, where we get a pretty fucking badass battle between Rey and Kylo. I could have done with a little bit more.
I wanted more of it. It didn't go on long enough. I think because we didn't get a lightsaber battle, not really in Last Jedi.
No, you just got that one where they took on the red stormtrooper guys,
which, by the way, are better than fucking Knights of Ren. But yeah, we got a little bit in Force Awakens, but in this new trilogy, we've not really had a badass lightsaber fight. Not really.
And that's one thing you can say about George Lucas's movies. There's quite a lot of lightsaber battles. Too many, if anything.
Rightfully so. Like, despise fucking Phantom Menace. You can't say that the lightsaber battle with Darth Maul is not one of the most badass things ever made.
It's fucking amazing.
So yeah, that was awesome.
And it leads to probably definitely my favourite thing in the new trilogy. Basically, Leia decides that she's going to distract Ben. She basically calls his name out from a million miles across the galaxy. Ben hears it, gets distracted, and Rey just stabs him.
Yeah.
Just absolutely melts him. And I love Daisy Ridley's face in that scene. fucking loved that face in that scene. You can see how angry she is and how much she wants to kill him, but then instantly realising, because she can sense Leia's past as well, she's fucked up. Just instantly, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I did. So then she does this new power that she has, this new force healing, which I can't be too mad at because a certain show on Disney Plus did it. There is a scene in The Mandalorian where that power is used.
It's not a new force power.
It's not a new force power.
All over Star Wars.
It's not like where Rian Johnson just fucking invented shit.
Yeah, it's not like Space Leia.
Yeah.
It is an actual force power that's in games and comic books and all that kind of thing. So it is.
So she she brings him back, and he has this sort of moment of like, maybe I'm just a bit of a dick. She flies off as she always fucking does, and I thought it was Mark Hamill. You know when he said, "Hey kid." When he said, "Hey kid," I genuinely thought Luke Skywalker's turning up to fucking give him a bit of real talk, but it's his dad. It's Han Solo.
Mark Hamill would have been good there.
Nah,
I never thought of that. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. I never even thought of it being Mark Hamill though.
My main reason for it having to be Harrison Ford, for it having to be Han Solo, is it's the whole arc of Kylo, and I said this in the group thing that we have with Burton's Bob. The one thing that has been consistently done well throughout this entire trilogy is Kylo Ren's arc. Like, it started brilliantly, it progressed brilliantly. He's a bit of a bitch in the second movie, but it's progressed brilliantly to the point where you had a satisfactory, like, face turn.
Yeah,
if you will, like, it's a satisfactory face turn, and then they kind of fucking waste him towards the end of the movie, but whatever. But it had to be Harrison Ford because, for me as a viewer, and for yourself, I would think, and anybody else as a viewer, for anybody who's going to forgive Kylo Ren for every shitty thing he's done, it has to be his dad that tells him he forgives him and tells him it's okay. It has to be Han Solo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because if it was Luke, I would have been like, meh, Luke tried to kill you, apparently, fucking ages ago. Like, I'm not buying that. But when Harrison Ford says it's okay, that's when I'm like, you know what, it's okay. It's okay.
So that was okay for you?
Yeah.
I like the scene. I've got nothing to.
It's one of the few scenes I love in the movie. I love the fact that he wanted to say I love you, couldn't say it, but Harrison Ford still goes, I know. You know, Empire, fuck yeah, anything. If you show me anything from Empire Strikes Back, if you nod to it, I'm gonna take that wink and a nod, and I'm gonna love you forever. So we got that as well. So anyway, Harrison Ford tells him that he's it's okay to be a good guy, basically, and Kylo throws his lightsaber in the river.
Yeah.
And then that's where we are with that. We'll just kind of just skip to the end, basically, where we come to. There's obviously going to be a massive big space battle between all the good guys and all the bad guys.
Well, yeah, everything from there is building up to the rebels are going to attack the fucking final order.
What did you think of JJ's second jab at The Last Jedi with Mark Hamill? Because obviously,
the Force Ghost thing.
She goes to the planet from the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, the start of, and she meets Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost. She's burning the ship, and she goes to throw the lightsaber in, and he catches it, and he's like, a Jedi would never. Was it like disrespectful?
A Jedi weapon needs to be treated with more respect.
Fucking amazing. Like, fuck you, Rian Johnson. That's what that was. That's what that was. And then the raising of the X-Wing or the Y-Wing or whatever it is, when he raised that as well, that was just like another
little nod to Empire.
Yeah.
Yoda. Yeah.
It's a nod to Empire, but it's also a fuck you, Rian Johnson. Don't put my ship in the sea. You can't.
Is that what he did in Last Jedi?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, they gave you a quick scene where they look down over the cliff and it's in the sea.
Oh, right, okay.
Which was bullshit. But yeah, so yeah, that was his second jab, and then he had another jab with General Hux, where it was like, I am the spy. I mean, he may as well have panto-villained the fuck out of that line, because it turns out General Hux is actually a spy, and he's actually working against Richard E. Grant.
Yeah, that was horseshit.
It didn't make sense. It made no sense. He was the biggest dickhead in the last movie.
He didn't care if the rebellion won. He just wanted Kylo Ren to lose.
Yeah. But I feel like that was another. Hey, Mr. Johnson, this is one of your characters. Don't want him in my movie. Fuck you.
He was in. Oh, you mean Richard E. Grant?
Yeah. No, Hux.
Because he was in Force Awakens.
He wasn't in Force Awakens. He turned up in Last Jedi. Moff Tarkin was in...
Do you mean,
Donald Gleason? He wasn't in Force Awakens, was he? Was he? Yeah. Misremembered. But anyway, he kills him. Because we have Richard E. Grant, who I won't lie, he's hamming it up, but he's good.
He's decent. Richard E. Grant is going to be hamming up.
Yeah, that's all he does now. Have you seen the video of him on Instagram? I was telling you about. I'll have to send you that video. It's absolutely hilarious. He's like sitting there and he's going, "This is the best movie ever." It's just like, oh, fucking shut up, man. Disney's paid you to say that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it cuts to the big space battle. We're always going to get a huge space battle. We're going to get a standoff between Rey, between Palpatine. The Knights of Ren are actually given something to do, and then taken out of the movie almost instantly.
The Knights of Ren are probably one of the biggest wastes of time in the entire new trilogy. They sound cool.
Did they even show up in the second one?
No.
I don't think they did, no. Because they're in the Vision in the first one, but they didn't show up in the second one, did they?
Not that I can remember. No, they weren't there.
Yeah.
They weren't there.
Bullshit.
But, like what we're saying in the car, like, okay, so there you're... Because you can't have Kylo Ren being the big bad in the second film because you're saving him for your third film.
Yeah.
So have the Knights of Ren as your big bad in the fucking second movie. But no, they were completely wasted. They were kind of beating up Kylo Ren a little bit because he's a good guy now, and then they do a swap with the lightsaber, which I'm okay with that power, whatever.
I mean, at least they set that up. At least they set that up because you had the scene earlier on in the movie where he took the necklace. Yeah. So they set that up. So when they did that at the end, yeah, it was pretty cool.
There was a moment that I thought was really, really well shot. The two of them, they're standing in front of the Emperor.
Yeah.
And they both like face the Emperor with their lightsabers on.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite smart. So the Emperor gets all of his powers back, and then he can do a big fuck off EMP field, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Space cannon.
Yeah.
Light beam.
It was a sky beam.
It was a sky beam. And you hate them.
I fucking hate sky beams. But it's the Emperor, so he can do what the fuck he wants. You know, why not? Why the fuck not? The Emperor can do that if he wants to. It's the Emperor. I actually wanted Rey to fucking sit on the throne, I won't lie.
Yeah.
It would never have happened in a million years. But so Ben is now Ben. He's a good guy. Fucking Rey become the Empress.
Yeah. And
Ben has to take on Rey, and Rey's the fucking wrong.
Or even as you said before, you have Finn. Finn and Rey. Finn should have been in that. For me personally, JJ set that up in Force Awakens, and then he picks it back up in this movie as to Finn being a little bit force sensitive and all that. Why not have Finn being part of that final battle? Or why not even have a battle? Because all it really was he shoots the fucking sky beam, pushes Ben off a cliff as a fucking I was thrown down a canyon in one of the other movies, so I'm going to throw you down a canyon, you little prick. That's all that was. And it was like, really? That's how you're going to write him out of this scene? Because his fucking granddad did it to you. Whatever, salty cunt. So you got that. And then Rey meditates, and he has all the different Jedis, which I actually really liked. I did like that. It was kind of like The Lion King. I'll give it that. It was nice. And apparently there's some surprise voices in there. One of them was Kanan from Rebels, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Right.
He was one of the voices.
Right. There's some Jack.
There's Mace Windu's there. Qui-Gon, obviously Obi-Wan.
Oh, I didn't hear Qui-Gon.
Yoda has a little bit. I mean, she picks her times to meditate, but whatever.
She wasn't really meditating though. She was kind of bust on the floor.
And then she gets back up and she's like, right, fuck you. I'm gonna space battle you, but not really. I'm just gonna stop you from shooting your beams at me.
But then, unless you have the Emperor jumping about the place like he was with Yoda in Revenge of the Sith,
I'm with you there.
Would have looked shit.
I'm with you there, but I think I said to you in the car, my ideal ending there, not my ideal ending, but an ending I would like to have seen is like, yes, she's battling with the lightsabers, she's doing the thing where he's shooting her lightsabers with it, and she's just showing how powerful she is. Have some Force ghosts just fucking turning up behind her as if they're willing her on to win. You know, he's got all those people in the crowds.
Yeah, let's face it, you're already ripping off Harry Potter because he dies like Voldemort.
Big time.
He basically disintegrates like fucking Voldemort.
And then they all put their lightsabers in the air. That would have been amazing.
So you're ripping off that already. Have Harry's man behind fucking Ray and just
No, I would have liked to have seen something else.
You didn't need that because there was quite a badass line where the Emperor goes, I am all the Sith.
Yeah.
And she goes, I am all the Jedi. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're right. As if to say they're all there with her, and I suppose metaphorically. And she wins, and then we have the most awkward, undeserved kiss ever. I didn't need that.
Yeah, no.
Did not need
we
that.
Didn't need that.
Because I'm
That's not earned. We didn't. At no point of any of these movies have they looked like they were gonna kiss at any time.
If anything, he just looked a bit rapey most of the time.
Yeah.
But like in my head, when thinking about those two characters, and I might be the only person, but it was almost like a Luke and Leia relationship. It was almost like they were brother and sister. It was kind of like they were siblings, not fuck buddies. And I was just kind of like, when he kissed her, I was like, or when she kissed him, I just started going, no, you've not earned that. You've not earned that.
No.
And then to kill him, for him to then die, was even more like, what the fuck? Like, either A, he just dies, or B, he gets the kiss and lives. Like, I don't feel any kind of way about that scene.
It felt like it was a bit of a we'll fucking pick someone then.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with Ray dying.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben comes back.
I definitely feel like Ray should have died.
And then he's the one who ends up on the fucking farm and on Tatooine at the end.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
And can we talk about that? We'll talk about that in a second, because I want to cover a couple of little bits as well. I want to cover the big meeting back at the end when everybody comes back to the camp. We get Warwick. Warwick's back. Little Wicket the Ewok.
Yeah.
And apparently it was actually Warwick. And he now has a little Ewok with him, which is his son, which again is apparently his real life son. I just think that's awesome. You know, he played that character, Return of the Jedi, when was that? It was
95, I want to say.
That's a canny long time, and then they bring him back. I'm buzzing they did. I'm happy they did. So you get that. You get a nice lesbian kiss between two of the commanders, because they're not going to pull the trigger on Finn and Poe. They're going to make you think they're going to do it, but then he starts giving that bird fuck eyes, so that's not happening. Which is weird.
Just to make sure, you know, like, you are not getting Poe, alright?
It is one of those things where the fans have been going on about it for so long. Like those two
Why have they been going on about
they're
it?
They're a cute gay couple, and it's like, no. And JJ's like, just in case you were wondering at the end of this movie, are they fuck? Because he's giving her the eyes. So that was nice. We got some more Charlie from Lost.
Yeah.
We got a really...
Imagine the thing that Finn was going to tell Ray was, I am all about Poe. I want him inside me.
I thought at one point, because he was giving her fuck eyes quite a few times, I thought there was maybe going to be a Finn and Rey. But we can't have that.
The races would have gone mental.
Oh, too right. We have Lando Calrissian, who we've not really spoken about. He's all up in this movie quite a bit.
There's not really much to talk about there, is there? He doesn't do anything.
I don't think he necessarily needed to be in it.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do shit.
He has that one bit where he takes down the gunner, which is pretty cool, but only because it's quickly followed by a return from Wedge Antilles saying "Nice shot, Lando," which I just thought, Wedge Antilles, man.
I did look round at Paul, and Paul was pissing himself at the two of us at that point.
Aye. Yeah, because we both pretty much went, it's Wedge! And Paul's like, probably doesn't know who Wedge is.
Probably not, no. It's half a normal. not the worst noise that I made. Well, not worst noise, but the most audible was when Chewie got his medal finally.
Oh, that was awesome.
And I did a very, very loud, oh!
And you know what, man? Thank you, JJ.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, because that's been a point of contention for years.
It has.
The one guy who was there during the whole fucking thing and gets nothing.
No, I was just very conscious that my was quite loud.
And he got the greatest, like, when he came back and realised that Leia had died.
Yeah.
Oh, that was heartbreaking. That was genuinely heartbreaking.
Actually, I feel like he reacted worse to that than he did to Han Solo dying.
Yeah, he just got the rage when Han died.
Usually, badass, like, yeah.
And that's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. We do get a little scene where Disney decide we're going to try and sell a new toy. Rey has a new lightsaber. It's a badass lightsaber. I quite like it. Yellow.
A yellow one.
Yeah. Have we seen yellow before?
In the games. It's in the games. It means something. The colours of the different lightsabers means something. That was in the Knights of the Old Republic game.
Right, but we've not seen it like live action movie, have we? No. It's cool.
I think it means like Peacemaker or something, fucking something like that.
And then we have the last line of dialogue in the movie, which I don't hate, but I kind of thought, fuck yourself. Because the movie's called Rise of the Skywalker, and it turns out Rey's just going to pretend she's a Skywalker now.
I didn't mind that. I was okay with it.
I'm not going to lie, mate. I didn't really like it.
I didn't mind it. I was okay. It's like, you know what? I'm bursting for a piss here. Just fucking come on. End the movie now.
But yeah, so that is the end. She gets asked what her name is, and she says her name's Rey Skywalker, and then we did get a nice little shot that totally echoes A New Hope as well, which I really liked.
The suns.
With the suns hanging there, like that was nice. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good movie. It's not offensive. There's a few things in there that would literally, he was just doing what he could with what he had.
Yeah.
So I can't fault him on that. I said before I went in, as long as I come out not as angry as I was after The Last Jedi, I'll be happy. And I wasn't angry.
I came out quite pleased. I came out quite, happy with what I'd seen. And I still am. I'd marks out of 10.
Out of 10, I'd say it's about a solid 6.5 to a 7. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's nothing outstanding.
I'd probably go maybe about a 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for, like, seeing the Emperor back.
Yeah.
I always loved myself a bit of Emperor monologue.
I think that's why you mark it up, isn't it? Because it hits a lot of the...
And, yeah, I'd say probably 7.5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any further than that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's be honest, this is the most inconsistent, incohesive trilogy of the bunch now. At least one thing you can say about George Lucas was that he had a plan and he followed it.
Yeah.
The one thing you can say about the originals is that they had a plan. That was 3 different directors. They all had a plan.
George Lucas there.
Exactly. It just, when the prequel trilogy came along, there was too much George Lucas. But at least, like, he started somewhere and he ended where he was going to end, and he did it consistently. Fair play. This one, when you look back at this trilogy, it's just a mess. And you've got one movie in there that you could, as you've said, you don't even have to watch.
You know, you have the machete order. Maybe it's going to be like that's going to be added to the machete order, where you just completely forget that The Last Jedi is a thing.
They could just literally, like, when they release it again on DVD, edit the crawl to say, by the way, Luke Skywalker died at the end of Force Awakens.
Yeah, aye. And don't bother watching it because it was shit.
So jobs are good.
Aye.
So yeah, that's Rise of the Skywalker. That's our honest opinions. I've seen a couple of videos since last night where they're really tearing it apart. I don't really think it deserves all that. I think the man did what he could.
I watched the Angry Joe one. There were a few fair points. He was laying into The Last Jedi a lot, like what we've just done, and kind of making the same points as we have. You know, that you have wasted a movie. You've wasted an opportunity to fucking tell a whole trilogy.
Yeah,
storytelling wise, because that went and did its own thing and paid no attention whatsoever to The Force Awakens or what the third movie was going to have to do.
Yeah.
He just fucking went out there and did his own thing because there was no one to say no.
Yeah, basically. Fuck you, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Bring in Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Calling it now. So, we'll leave that there.
Let's get into our top 5.
Yeah, let's do top 5s.
Let's pitch up.
You heard others, but nothing could prepare you for the shameful stupidity that is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Witness the hubris as they claim to be the world's authority on comic book movies.
Who said that?
Never said that. We've never said that.
Who cares? A jock said that.
Comic book, TV, movie reviews, news, and whatever they choose. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Seriously, people really listen to this.
So the top 5 was going to be a Christmassy top 5, but then we decided, you know what? We don't even like Christmas.
Well, you don't.
And we spoke about it at the start of the show. So we're going to do the top 5 of our movies of 2019, because we're pretty much wrapping up 2019. There's not going to be anything we're going to go and see.
No, next movie I'm going to go, and I think you might fancy it as well, is the 1917, which is out on the 10th of January. I'm really looking forward to that.
So that might make the list last next year.
What fun.
So when I was looking back, I won't lie, it's not been a massively great year.
I've got a few that I think there's 2 that will surprise you. Well, not really. Probably won't surprise you.
So I'll tell you what. You go first.
Well, shit. Okay. Right, so my number 5 is a movie that I've already spoken about and what you've been watching. It is A Private War.
Alright, yes.
The war correspondent.
Yeah, I remember you told me about it.
I know. It was only 3 hours ago.
At least one thing, when we haven't recorded for a while, we can still go for 3 hours or so.
Oh, we can always go for 3 hours.
Oh, dude. That's just gay.
You big goo. Call back.
You big poo.
Poo, sorry. You big poo. Anyway, bygones. A Private War. Well, I've already spoken about it. I'm not going to speak about it much more. It was fucking excellent. And Rosamund Pike was great.
Yeah.
It is one of the best movies I've seen this year.
That's what I am gonna check that out. I am.
But don't do it if you're having a down day.
No, I have a lot of them. So my number 5 is a movie that basically, but it basically got shit canned. It doesn't have that many great reviews. I absolutely love it. It's a trash movie that you can watch any time of the day. It's genuinely, I think, fantastic. It is Alita: Battle Angel.
Oh, yeah, her with the big eyes.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I've not seen that.
I don't understand how people couldn't get behind this movie. I genuinely thought it was brilliant. Robert Rodriguez doing what he does best, just throwing in those mental CGI effects and just being Robert Rodriguez. And there's a shit ton of world building in that movie that I would love to see where it goes next, but it's probably not going to happen because people did not like it. I did. It was like that one that came out last year, that Valerian with Dane DeHaan. I loved that as well.
Oh yeah, I remember you going on about that.
But again, people didn't like that, and I
didn't. I watched the trailer for that, and I thought, oh, what a load of fucking French nonsense.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's normally what I would say.
Yeah. Okay, so next one. I am going to go. All right. Okay, so I don't think you'll agree with these ones. These are Hobied. It is Endgame and Far From Home.
I kind of expected it.
I told you.
I kind of expected it.
I loved both of them.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think I need to explain myself.
They are entertaining as hell movies. They are very entertaining.
I think just because Endgame is so it's it's the big culmination of 10 years work, and I think I personally love the movie. I think that so things could have been done better, like the Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I was looking forward to seeing it, and it didn't disappoint me, not really. Far From Home I thought was excellent as well.
Yeah. I'm going to rewatch Infinity Wars and Endgame. I'm off for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm going to watch it over the holiday period together, both movies. I'm going to, because I feel like sometimes I'm giving it a hard rap, and it's not really deserved. So I am going to give it another go. Endgame just... I don't know. Apart from Thor, there's not much to it for me. My number 4 is also a superhero movie, and it is a movie I could not wait to see. It is everything I hoped it would be. It is Shazam.
Oh, I never even bloody thought of that. Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Love Shazam. Yeah. Zachary Levi in that role is just incredible. That movie's so well written. It's just great. Like
it surprised me a lot. The trailers did nothing.
I think it did. It surprised the hell out of a lot of people.
For me personally, the trailers did shit. They did absolutely nothing.
They didn't really. They kind of. When I watched the trailers, it kind of just looked like DC were trying to make a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Which I guess is sort of what they do, but there's enough of DC content in there that I'm like, you know what, they're not just trying to make a Marvel movie, they're doing something different here. I loved it. I think Shazam's fucking outrageously good. Way better than it ever deserved to be.
Oh, aye, definitely.
And it just kicks ass. I just love it.
Okay. My number... What are we on? Number 3?
Yeah.
It is Fighting With My Family.
I had it on my list. It's still on my list, but I knocked it just outside the top 5. It is fucking class, though. It's a great movie.
Yeah. It's just fucking great.
Yeah. There's not much you can say. It's a nice little family movie. If you're into your wrestling, it's a nice little.
You need to be that much into your wrestling.
No. Like, I'm just saying though, but like if you are into your wrestling, it gives you a little like insight into some of it. You know, it's nice. Her brother's fantastic in it.
Yes, he is.
I still maintain one of the best performances of the year.
He's another one that's getting busier and busier as well.
Good lad. I want to see more. Yeah,
definitely.
My number 3, a movie that came out of absolutely nowhere for me. I didn't actually know anything about it. Sat down to watch it about a month ago. It was going to be in my What Have You Been Watching section, but I put it in here because it's in my top 5. Peanut Butter Falcon.
You would do
the movie's called Peanut Butter Falcon. It's independent, like very low budget kind of thing. It's Shia LaBeouf. We both know when Shia wants to act and wants to do something great, he can. And this movie took me by surprise. I watched it by accident because I thought it was the other movie he's meant to be making. He's making one called Honey Boy, and I think it comes out very soon, in which he plays his own dad. And the movie's basically about him, and it's meant to be pretty fucking good. I thought that's what I was watching. It turned out I wasn't, but this movie is insanely good. He's sort of like this southern kind of down and out, sort of just makes his way in life doesn't really have much money, just sort of gets on with life and all that. And then he becomes reluctant friends with this Down syndrome kid who is just escaped an old folks' home where he's being looked after there, and he escapes there because he wants to go to, I think it's like California or something like that, and he wants to join a wrestling school because that's what he wants to do. So they kind of hook up, and then through their own sort of reasons, sort of become pals and go on a bit of a road trip to get to this wrestling school. It's just great, man. It's one of those like really, really feel good movies. Like
that sounds like it'd be up my street. Yeah.
It's talky talk. There's not a lot of like action or whatever like that. You get some nice little cameos towards the end of the movie from Jake the Snake Roberts is in there.
Sold.
Mick Foley's in there. He plays the referee because they have a wrestling match near the end of the movie, and he plays the referee.
Right.
Thomas Hayden Church from he played Sandman in Spider-Man 3. Don't hold that against him because he's actually a stellar actor. He was in Sideways with Paul Giamatti all those years ago. Great actor. The only thing that maybe let me down a little bit was the chick from 50 Shades of Grey is in it. She's not a great actress, but she does okay in this.
Okay.
But Shia LaBeouf totally nailed it.
Yeah, I'll probably give that a watch.
You should. It's like it's just a really like you sort of sit there going at the end of it you're like, I feel really good. I'll go about my day now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and there's not many movies in my top 5 that make me feel that way. Shazam.
No, not this year.
No.
This year, no.
Been a dark year.
Well, my number 2 very much covers that. The movie fucked you up.
Yeah.
It is Joker.
From a text that you sent me earlier, I feel like our 2s and our 1s are going to be the same.
They probably are.
But switched.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you're putting Joker at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I put Joker at number 1.
My number 1 wasn't going to be my number 1.
Yeah. That was it was touch and go for a little bit. I've been switching them around all day, but you know what, man, the Joker for me goes at number 1. It's at number 2 for you. It fucked me up.
I know it did. You were a broken man on the journey home from the cinema.
Something I absolutely was not expecting going into that movie. It just fucking destroyed me. It's crazy. Like, Todd Phillips is he's a comedy director, he's a comedy writer. There is comedy elements in the Joker, but for some reason, and somebody said this to me about a week ago, about how sometimes the best comedy shows are the ones that hit you when you're least expecting it. So like Afterlife with Ricky Gervais does that all the time anyway. Like he writes fucking great comedy, but when he really wants to hit you in the fucking heart, he can. And he destroys you.
Yep.
And that is right. Like
the monologue in the Extras Christmas special, when he's in the Big Brother house and he's speaking to the camera and he's going like, "Oh, I want to be I want to be a soldier. I was too scared and all that." And then he turns to the camera and he speaks to Maggie, and he goes, "I would be the thing in the guy's pocket" or something like that every time.
But that's what I mean. Like, great comedy has those moments, and I guess I just forgot that Todd Phillips might be able to do something like that, because, and we spoke about it at length on the podcast, but when you get to that particular scene, like, it is the slow breakdown of a man's mental state, you know. Just the whole movie is just the man is being shit on and shit on and shit on, and you do empathise with him.
Oh, you do. Yeah,
for a large part of the movie, you empathise with him.
You're there with the guy who starts out as like the sort of the lovable loser, the guy who you would go, "Oh, bless him, for fuck's sake," and then it slowly becomes worse and worse and worse and worse until, and then.
But like I say, when you get that scene, it fucking killed me. No other movie this year has done that to me, and I struggle to think of a movie in the last 5 to 10 years that took me on a journey that movie did. And I don't know, just there's nothing else I can say about the Joker.
I don't think you should watch it again, to be honest.
I don't want to. Like, I 100% want to. I'm dying to watch it again, but I'm fully aware that it needs to be like a good year to 2 years before I watch it again.
Bloody hell!
Because it's probably going to set me back about 10 years. I already feel like I've regressed about 10 years due to that film. But Todd Phillips did a wonderful, wonderful job with that film. And Joaquin Phoenix, if he's up for the Oscar, which I undoubtedly think he will be.
I think if he's not at least up for one, then the Oscars needs to fuck themselves.
Yeah. This might be the year that I finally just turn on, you know what, fuck you, Oscars.
There is no reason why that man shouldn't deserve an Oscar. Or at least a nomination.
He's got to be in the conversation. I mean, there's a few big baity Oscar movies coming out in the next couple of months. Aye. So there's a good chance he'll not win it. But he's got to be in there. He's got to be in the conversation. So yeah.
So your number 2 and my number 1 is
Brightburn.
Yeah.
There's no. Like I say, I flipped and I toed him forward, and I might as well have tossed a coin on it. But in the end, I thought, you know what, that one affected me way more. But Brightburn's fucking class.
It's fucking superb. Even Paul Byrne liked it.
Oh my god!
I know.
What the fuck?
Normally, you know, it's just it's all right.
Up has become down, left has become right.
But no, Brightburn got that was fucking good.
It is like it's
from Paul Byrne. So there you go.
It's top notch. Think we'll get another one.
I want to see the Wonder Woman one that we get, that is alluded to with Michael Rooker at the end, with the crazy witch who's strangling.
Right.
I want to see
that. Would be interesting, actually.
And also the half man, half fish who's going about capsizing boats. I want to see that.
That would be super interesting if they didn't deal with the kid and they just same universe, different.
Same universe.
Aye,
and then that's.
I never really thought of that.
Yeah.
Never really thought about that.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to see that little.
I want to see more of that. And also, by the way, the song over the credits is fucking good. Where it's just it's the kid kind of speaking.
Yeah.
And it starts off with him going, "I'm a bad guy."
It's Billie Eilish. It's a Billie Eilish song.
It's not. Is it not the kid speaking?
No.
Right, okay. All right, ignore me then.
It's called Bad Guy.
Right. I honestly, genuinely thought it was the kid speaking over the song.
No, it's Ruby fucking loves that song. She loves the artist. She's like some little like fucking freaky emo kid.
Oh, I get that from the song, like. But I genuinely thought it was a kid. But Brightburn was just superb. It's just everything that Marvel isn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything that the superhero movies that we're used to watching over the last 10 years isn't.
Exactly.
And it's just, if Superman was a little cunt.
Exactly.
And you've got Elizabeth Banks in there, so.
And of course, it came at this absolute sweet spot in time where James Gunn had been bounced by Disney, like told him to fuck off kind of thing. He hadn't quite got the Suicide Squad gig yet, but he was in a very like weird fucking space where it was like, you know what, everything I've done, like Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty much at that time was probably one of the better Marvel movies. Second one's fucking excellent, and it's like they just throw you to the side because of a tweet from 10 years ago. Fuck you. You know what, I'm going to make the most superhero movie you've ever seen. And he brought Brightburn. I mean, he didn't direct it, but it's all like he produced.
That's his brother, isn't it?
Yeah, like he did pretty much everything on it, and I feel like it just came at this wonderful point in James Gunn's career where it was like, I hate everything that you stand for, so I'm going to make this. And then of course it all works out because he's back on Guardians, and he's got Suicide Squad. So there you go.
Yeah, well there you go.
So everything works out in the end.
Yep, exactly.
But I'm glad all that happened just so we got that movie, because Brightburn's incredible.
I want to see the Wonder Woman one though.
Yeah, I'm with you there now. I know that I think about it. I hadn't really thought about like the universe of it all. I kind of just bring me another film of that kid being a twat.
No, just like I thought that was kind of the point of the Michael Rooker video.
Yeah.
That's
to set up
the crazy witches strangling people with rope.
I thought it was just because James Gunn loves Michael Rooker.
Oh,
so
that too.
He wanted to play a tin foil fucking news reporter.
But yeah, I just watched that and thought, oh, I want to see those movies now.
No, that is a decent top 5. That is a decent top 5. Like I say, the Joker only just tips Brightburn. I say only just, it's probably a country mile, but that was my only thing. Like, I flipped all day between those two movies. I'm like, it's got to be one of the two, and I'm just like, you know what, Joker, I still think about it, so it's going number 1. Did you have any honourable mentions before we go?
Hotel Mumbai.
Yeah, I thought you might have had that. So I remember you raved on that.
I couldn't bring myself to lose any of the. It was in there before I saw the Private War.
Yeah,
and it was kind of knocked out by that.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, Hotel Mumbai, honourable mention.
I think the only other one I had Fighting with My Family. It just fell out, and at one point I had Hobbs and Shaw in there.
Still never seen that.
But I knew that would rage you.
I am going to watch that because the trailer for that didn't make me want to scratch my eyes out. So
the movie will.
Awesome.
Me and Lindsay love Hobbs and Shaw. I think it's a great movie. It's just The Rock. I love The Rock.
Yeah.
Idris Elba's pretty good in it, actually. He's Black Superman.
Yeah. The trailer for that made me go, I'll watch that.
Have you seen the trailer for the Fast and Furious game that we're getting next year?
I have not.
Wow. What a load of horse shit.
I would imagine it would be.
It looks awful. But they're trying to sell it on the fact that, hey guys, Vin Diesel's actually in the game and Michelle Rodriguez is actually in the game. And I'm like, yeah, it still looks shit though. Yeah. And we've tried this before.
Have they tried that before?
I'm sure a few years ago there was I don't know if it was like a proper console game, but there was like a Fast and Furious pish came out.
Yeah,
you
can keep it.
Okay, so I guess that's us.
That's us.
Guess we're done.
Next episode, I will have the new Star Wars game.
Was it the Fallen Order?
Fallen Order, yeah.
Not the Final Order.
Definitely not the Final Order. No, Fallen Order. I have a feeling I might be getting it for my Christmas. So I'd like to buy it, you see.
Oh, so, I'm hoping I might get it.
But if I don't get it for my Christmas, I'm going to be buying the fucker. So
yeah, Sames. Yeah. All good.
Different consoles. So.
All right then. So I guess we'll tap out there. We'll be back very soon. We are going to be kicking the shit out of 2020. We're going.
Yes, we are
back on point. Need to have 365 back up in my life. It's been a weird few months for both of us, but I think we're coming round. So 365 will be ongoing.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.